I look and see it's just me.
Jeff, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Well, yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling's always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
Yes! I look and see it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Yeah!
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah!
Ooh, what's happening, guys? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT Live Show. Yeah, where's my noise? How are you guys doing? It's Saturday. Yeah, as people file in, I hope you enjoyed the intro. I am, of course, your host, Phil Marks. And we got a lot to get to tonight. Make sure you're checking me out everywhere on social media at prowrestletimes. And I just want to thank you guys, man. We're at almost like 1,200 people over youtube.com/at prowrestletimes. That's like where the long form, the replays of the live shows go there. And we're grinding our way to like 1,500 subs there. So thank you all very much for that. And we are at like 4,000, 4,200, working our way to 4,500 at youtube.com/at Wrestle Clips, where I'm sure the majority of you are all listening / viewing this now. So round of applause for you all. Thank you all so much for being here with me and for supporting the show. We have Poopy StreamYard tonight here. That's being poopy again. And joining me here right now on the show is none other than your favorite guest and mine. From the Last Call podcast, Chris Connor joining me tonight as well for a little bit. Chris Connor, how you doing, buddy? How you doing?
I'm hanging in there, and thank you for having me back on. And I am getting ready for the real bad blood. It's not AEW, WWE. It's not you, Dave Meltzer. It's Driscus Dupleix versus Israel Adesanya. Driscus causing Adesanya to cry during the press conference.
Yeah,
who's
UFC
the real
304.
African fighter and all that. I mean, this is there is heat. And the winner of this gets your favorite trash-talking MMA fighter, Sean Strickland. That's right. Just when you think he's done, people, Phil Marks' favorite trash-talking American is back, taking on the winner.
I'm okay. I like Strickland. Yeah. So, folks, tonight, as Chris Connor alluded to, UFC 304 is on, and they're in Australia with a couple shrimp on the barbie. Just kidding. That's terrible. I'm hyped up. I'm drinking a Red Bull. But yeah, as people file in, we are watching. Well, if there's anything interesting going on Collision, you guys let me know. Of course, we'll dive into Phil Marks bookmarks, and of course, we will be updated, or we will know about Collision stuff as it happens. But yeah, I'm watching UFC 304 during this live stream tonight. And yeah, they're in Australia. I think it's technically Sunday there right now. So it's like early prelims. Like they're fighting what, like during the day? Like when is the main event going down, Chris Connor, in Australian time? Do you know? Like, is that like lunchtime Australian time or what?
So it's in Perth. So right now you're looking at, it's 10 a.m. right now their time. So you're looking at probably anywhere between like a 3 to 4 p.m.
So that's
Australian
not too bad.
time.
That's not too bad. That's better than like
that. Yeah, that's like for us, like 12 or like 1 a.m. in the morning. And
fighting in the morning's gotta suck though. Like when they go to some of these countries and it's like 7 a.m. our time or whatever. They're in like fucking Saudi Arabia or whatever. Some of these places, I don't know, but UFC got a lot of shit about there was the one card there a few weeks ago where just all the fights kind of lulled and sucked, and Dana White got crap for everybody saying like, well, yeah, you're making these guys fight at like 7 a.m. our time or whatever, how are they going to fight good? That would be fucking terrible. You have to wake up and fight. Drop in F-bombs 7 minutes deep. Denisha for $2. Hey, Phil, are we getting those likes up tonight? Yeah, 85 watching. I mean, we should be at around the 80 mark and tickle that 100 like an AEW Millie, except for we reach our goals here at PWT. Yeah, we're going to get to that 100 likes quickly tonight, and then I won't ask for it a bunch. And guys, consider becoming a member as well, or gifting a membership down below. They're 99 cents. They're so cheap because I got 2 channels, but it just permits me to keep doing this, and I'll try and show members chats. Speaking of members, one of our members, and thank you so much, Denisha, you're the best. One of our members, and here, I didn't give you, I'll acknowledge you too.
Acknowledge me.
One of our members, George Captor, was hitting me up, and he's like, hey man, I really liked how you did that giveaway on your SummerSlam show. He's like, so I want to do a giveaway for members only. So he's a member, and he's like, I want to do a giveaway for members. And I think he's got like 3 things. It's going to be at Survivor Series. So I'll tell you more about it like down the way. And this is George has just stepped. He's like, I want to do this thing. So, hey, I'm down. So we'll talk more about it. I think Survivor Series is like November or something. So we'll talk about it closer to that date. But just a heads up, like you want to be a member. They're only 99 cents. Hey, I gave away a $50 WWE Shop gift card. George Captor's giving some away. It pays off to be a member of the PWT universe, folks. And yeah, I haven't read a Manscaped ad yet, so we're we're on the right track. So yeah, consider doing that. And also, if there's something that really needs to be said, as Denisha showed you all there, Snooper Duper chat will definitely get seen. And yeah, man, we got a lot to get into. I think people have filed in pretty good. Chris Connor, what else you got going on tonight before, or actually let me talk about this with you. So, we go back and forth a lot. That's why I enjoy you. That's why I enjoy having you on the show. And we got in our little Tonga Twins debate there, and it irked a lot of people. Some people loved it. Some people were like, oh man, fuck Chris Connor. Some people were like, oh, Phil, you're wrong. But at the end of the day, what came of it? We have lunch. The Tonga Twins tweeted about it, and then they followed me after, or one of them did. So I think I got the W on that one, buddy.
Oh yes, let me guess. You're probably like the president of a Tonga Twins fan club. Like, hey, You know what? Tonga Twins rule. Yeah, like a T-shirt, like Tonga Twins for life and everything.
Yeah,
hey, good
dude.
for you. You know what? That's you and a couple other people. The rest of us are looking to go. Tonga Twins need a lot more seasoning.
They do. I said that. I did say that. I did say that. They need some seasoning, but that's what NXT.
Like, no, they're gonna get signed to WWE. WWE's looking going. We need more seasoning. It's like a piece of steak that's like extremely raw. You need more seasoning.
Yeah, dude.
Then come back to us.
The other thing we talked about was something that is going to be featured in our Dave Meltzer dumb moment of the week, which we're going to dive into at the top of the show, because last show I said, hey guys, we're not doing a Dave Meltzer dummy moment, and we're going to do an IWC sicko moment or whatever. So I got both for you guys tonight, and we're going to kick things off with the Davey dumb moment. As you know, 103 of you are in here, so run those likes up. We're gonna dive into Phil Mark's bookmarks. I've kind of milked it enough. I think there's enough of you in here to where we can get things going. First, I'm gonna get the Perry Pack, smoking on the Perry Pack. I want the chat to let me know what's going on with Collision tonight, and yeah, we're gonna dive into things here. Let me just see. Sorry, I'm reading. They're showing us Dricus du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya tonight. UFC 304 is what is on my television tonight. I'm excited for this. This should be a fun, good card and all of that. And yeah, if you guys don't watch UFC typically, this would be a card I would check out for sure. That would be my suggestion. Now, yeah, here, you guys, I need to hydrate a little bit. Why don't you quickly, before we get into
let
things,
me run down the card. While you're doing that, I'll run down
I was
the
just
rest
going
of
to
the
say,
card.
Chris, you just fucking talk about stuff. I'm going to smoke quickly and hydrate a little bit.
Because that was for those who are just tuning in for the main event card. Look, if you want a heavyweight scraps, you will not be disappointed. You got Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Tai Tuivasa. There will be no wrestling. There will be no grappling. It's two men who just love to throw leather. We talked to Biggie Boy on the show. He's already saying that he is getting a first-round knockout. I know the people I talk to who are very close to Tai Tuivasa feel that this is the last shot for him. If he loses, it's probably he's done with the UFC. Even though he's an action-packed fighter.
Is that what Tai said?
That's the feeling from his camp. Look, he's lost, 4 straight fights now by knockout, 5th straight fight. It might be time for him, because how do you come back after 5 straight knockout losses?
Yeah, dude, he can bang. I'll chug a beer for him in Minecraft tonight. But yeah, we got Kai Kara France versus Steve Urseg. We got Mateusz Gamrot versus Dan Hooker. We got Rozenstruik versus Tuivasa, and Li Jingliang is also in a fight. This is a phenomenal card. If you guys are into MMA, go and check that out. If you guys are watching Collision, keep us updated for sure on what's going on. But yeah, that heavyweight fight. Let's check out what chat's doing, guys. And then first here, already did, sir. Good episode title. Thank you, sir. Rabid Platypus. You too, man. Good name. Yeet. Yeet. Guys, show some love to Brad Becker. He just got out of an intense surgery. So chat, show some love for Brad Becker, and he's doing good. He's been DMing me. It's good to see you're here, Brad. Makes me happy to know that you're taking your time to come hang out here. We got Michael Drouillard, who won our gift card, our $50 WWE shop gift card. Everyone hit that like button. We got Denisha here. We got Brad. And yeah, here I shared the link as well. If you guys want to just tweet it out or DM it, excuse me. So we got George Captor. He's doing we talked about that. He's going to do some sort of giveaway. We don't deserve Phil. No, I don't deserve you guys. Flutes. Meltzer deserves me, actually. So we got Flutes. Sorry, guys. I'm skimming through. I'm trying to get caught up. We got Jonesy. What up? Wrestle Russ Poop or Pop. Either way, both are accepted. Lurking for view time tonight. I'll listen to the replay soon. Enjoy. Oh, thank you, dude. Thank you. Lurking for the view time. I really do appreciate that. Guys, I'm skimming through. I'm so sorry. Shadow Bat Ash, good to see you. We love a good disagreement. Yes, absolutely, guys. Lincoln Hawk. popping. Yes, let's go, Philly Phil. What's good, my guy? It's good to see you. And then Shaggy Filth gifts 5 memberships. Oh my god, what an absolute, that we have to give a round of applause. So hopefully the people who got those are either the, oh my god, and then he gifted another 5 memberships. Oh my goodness. Let me air horns them. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but yes, I absolutely appreciate that so much. Shaggy Filth 73, and yeah, those memberships, hopefully they went to the biggest haters or the names that we see in here who don't have the memberships. Thank you. Thanks for the gift sub. So that's Whitest Rabbit. Awesome. Free your head. I don't know if that's what you're going for, but amazing to Nikki P. Yeah, so that's how we do here, man. That's how we get down here. Nikki P. Here we go, guys. Okay, so let's get the show underway. Let's dive into Phil Marks bookmarks, and I will show you guys here how it is now set up, right? Because we got the blue check, and so I got these sections, right? We got AEW news, we got IWC sickos, we got WWE news, Dave Meltzer, miscellaneous memes. We're jumping in all these tonight. Yeah. So let's start. I told you guys it is time for everybody's favorite segment in all of pro wrestling podcasting media, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week. See, even StreamYard gave me that one. They're like, we're not fucking you on that one. So basically what happened was you and I, Chris Connor, we got into a debate as well on X about, and I covered it a bit on the show, about how, you know, Jacob's injuries kayfabe, man. They just, like, maybe he's a little banged up. Maybe he's a little banged up or something, but the whole boot and all of that, like, they just couldn't have Roman return and then collide with fucking Jacob. Like, that's what it was. So then Dave here's what I had to say about it, putting myself over. But for real, like, come on. I'm saying this stuff. I'm ranting and raving. Dave takes it to the next level and says, you know, they're keeping them as far apart as they can right now so that they don't touch, because they can't touch forever. And he makes it, I have it somewhere, but he agrees, though, WWE don't want Fatu and Roman Reigns together right now so that Fatu doesn't have to sell big for him, or vice versa, which he left out, which I felt was true. But just, hey, man, you guys know it. When it comes to this bloodline story, I'm never going to fantasy mark book it. Nobody will, better than they're telling it and doing it. So I was like, hey, man, you can't have Roman return to Jacob. And I'm not saying keep them away forever, but at that moment in time, you couldn't have Jacob just like selling for Roman and shit. So they did the leg thing. So now everybody runs with it. Dave goes, they're keeping them far away from each other. The plans are, he goes in on it. I think I have it down here. He talks about, you know, let's see. He had a quote on it, I believe. Yeah, they're basically trying to have Jacob Fatu completely avoid Roman Reigns. Now, I never said that shit. I was like, because when they do collide, it's going to be monstrous, and he's going to be the difference maker to where Roman is beating the right. So, guys, at fucking SummerSlam, what happened? Roman beats them down. SmackDown, what happens? Roman beats them down. This last SmackDown, what happens? Jacob's the difference maker, exactly as I called it, exactly as I said, and now people are going to have to come help Roman. So I never gave a timeline on that, but it appears we're right. So Dave is like, everyone has to sell for Roman Reigns, and they want to keep Jacob Fatu special by not bumping around for Roman. Now, that's not that dumb of a thing to say, but he goes, he's going to be gone when Roman Reigns is around until whenever the time is right to hook them up. Well, it was a week later, so Dave's making it seem like they're keeping them far and wide, and this is the idea backstage. And it's like everything he says about WWE, Triple H goes out of his way to prove wrong. It's hilarious. And he goes, that's the situation. I can't say he's not hurt, but everything that's happening was planned to happen. Because he's not hurt. I can say that as far as avoiding these two locking up for now until later when they will lock up. I think they want Roman with Solo first, then Jacob after that. No, dude. Roman is going to have to scratch and claw to get Solo one-on-one. We're going to have faction warfare. We're going to see him have to fight Tama one-on-one. He's going to fight everybody before he actually gets to Solo. And I could actually see Roman being the first guy to give Jacob a loss. I could see that as well. I could also see Jacob pinning Roman in like a tag match or some sort of thing like that. But yeah, dude, pretty much, I don't know, like Meltzer took an L for this. It aged unbearably bad because this is why. He started with what was correct. They need to keep them apart. Okay, that's correct, Dave. And then he said something that's also correct. Hey, he's not really hurt. He's probably not even really hurt, but I'm not going to say he's not. But then this is what Dave does. Then he starts fantasy mark booking it all. And then he gets it completely wrong because now he's making up shit that he was told or that he heard. That's not true. He just started fantasy mark booking it all. And then that's where it went wrong. And that's the separation. People like myself, not to even make it about me or anyone else, but a lot of other people go, here's my fantasy mark booking. Here's what we know. Dave just wanted to act like his fantasy mark booking was the end all be all truth. Jacob comes in wearing a boot, and it only makes him seem more badass on SmackDown that he's literally sprinting top speed doing moves wearing a boot. It just made him seem really badass and cool. Chris, I want your thoughts on all of that ending to SmackDown and basically everything I was just babbling about.
All right. Well, there's just a lot to take in. Is Jacob Fatu hurt? Yes. Is he injured? Yeah, that's the $1 million question. Look, he has the boot on, so I think there is something wrong. Is it serious enough where he can't wrestle? Who knows? I mean, I think they're treating it very with kid gloves. We saw him run in, but there weren't any high flying moves. There weren't any moonsaults. There weren't any. When they did the power bomb, it was an assisted power bomb, so it was all three guys. He isn't putting a lot of weight on it if he can help it. It's so as I said, who knows? Look, as I've talked to a lot of guys who, when they have fought, it's always been a big thing here is if you are hurt, you're hurt. But if you're injured, that's a whole different story. If you're hurt, you power through it. And there's been stories of guys who have wrestled with torn ACLs, with dislocated shoulders, and they'll find ways to just suck it up until they can find a way to either heal or pop back in place. Look at Seth Rollins and his back. As I said, I think it'll be interesting to see what goes on the next couple of weeks. If we don't see more of Fatu wrestling, that means it's something a little more serious than we originally thought. It's not just, okay, Fabe, he landed, he's acting. It's like, this might be a little bit more serious. But for now, we're all just speculating. I think it is. I think he's going to power through it. I think they're going to treat it with kid gloves. And it's basically like, well, you're whistling past a graveyard and hoping that this thing sort of heals on its own without surgery or rehab. And it's just like, well, it's a bone bruise and it goes away with just rest, recovery. Lots of things.
For the folks in the audience tonight, what I want you to take away from my little breakdown, because there's not much more I can say. Like, it is what it is. Everyone's cooking.
Your breakdown is Meltzer's wrong. You're going to do a slap fight. You want to take off the gloves, and you want to start slapping around. That's what you want to do. I know you're trying to be like every Canadian, to try to be very nice and polite. Just let it go, Phil. Let it go. Just grab the glove, walk up to go. I challenge you to a duel, sir, and just start slapping around with the right hand.
I would never do that.
Backhand. Yes, you can. I know you want to.
I could, but I wouldn't. Why not? Here's the thing. Because he's an old man, dude. He's old as shit. He doesn't even know. But here's the thing. I just want you guys to take this away from it. It's when Dave started fantasy mark booking and then trying to claim that his make-believe shit was also facts. That's where the disconnect happens. It's every time. So just notice that, right? Because you can't point it out every time. I'll go insane doing it, but that's what it is. He's right about maybe he's probably not hurt, but he starts fantasy mark booking. They're going to keep him away until the time is right. And it's like, well, yeah, obviously, but the time is right could be in a week, 2 weeks, just based on the return, what we know, because we saw it. We saw the return. I'm speaking in hindsight, right? I'm speaking based off what I fucking saw. Roman came back. He had to beat everyone up. Jacob's been killing everyone for weeks. He can't beat up Roman. Roman can't beat him up for this week or next, whatever. But this is where Dave's shit always ages badly, because he thinks his fantasy shit is true. And now I don't know what happened here, but we're going to play literally another flute. That's right. Because Dave goes even dumber, dude. He gets even dumber. And as the title indicates, Dave Meltzer's a lying scumbag. Now, this is where it gets into scumbag territory. Now, I want to take you guys back not long ago when Dave Meltzer did something similar when in regards to Pat McAfee, when they did the little Wyatt Six thing, and then, Pat's not on TV. And Dave Meltzer just fantasy mark books it and goes out on a limb, whereas most rational people said, okay, we'll wait and see why McAfee wasn't on TV if it had something to do with Bray or whatever. Dave just goes out and says, it's because the Wyatt stuff, it's what it is. And then McAfee makes a statement saying, oh, my father-in-law passed away, or mother-in-law. And again, our condolences for that. So this isn't just like a one-time thing, right? I bring that up to remind you guys, this was only like a couple months ago. He botched that. Okay. Now, when it comes to one half of the Wild Samoans, Afa, R.I.P. Sika, who recently passed away as well. Afa just passed away. Our deepest condolences here from the PWT universe to the Anawai family, Fatu, everyone, the Tongans, all the bloodline, all of our best wishes with you guys and your families, of course. But Dave goes out. So Afa's in the hospital, right? And Dave goes out and just tweets it out. Afa Anawai just passed away. Very sorry to hear. Sympathies to the family. What a rough period for that family. Okay. PW Insider, shout them out. So they actually do diligence as far as I'm concerned. Afa the Wild Samoan update. 9 minutes. Okay, so that Dave Meltzer tweets that out 16 minutes ago. Let's just say 9 minutes ago. Here's an update. This update says he's not passed away. And his daughter, Afa's daughter, I believe, made like a statement being like angry and emotional. Like, fuck you guys reporting my dad's dead. He's not dead. And we fucking are hoping he pulls through. And then he passes away. So imagine you're going through all that. And you got this fucking, the best guys, Tony Khan. You got this fucking tongue out.
Best guys, Tony Khan.
Fucking goofball putting this shit out. Now I'm upset, if you guys can't tell. This upsets me. Because imagine you're that family. You're going through this shit. What a rough period for that family, Brian. This guy's tweeting the shit out. All the fucking sickos are, did you hear? It gets spread around before we even know. And that's the thing. I saw Dave's shit first as well. I saw it. And I didn't react right away. Whenever I see someone whenever someone posts like this celebrity or wrestler or anyone passes away, I never bite on it right away. Because in the past, I've bitten on it. Just as like a civilian, just as like someone you guys don't listen, just a regular dude. I've bitten on things like that. We all do it because these fake things get spread around on the internet. And especially if Dave says something, you can't trust it. So PW Insider corrects the record. Dave comes out and goes, a correction. Afa has not passed away. He is battling. No apology. No, I'm sorry. No fucking, listen, the information I was given was whatever. You fucking Mark! This guy just talks out of his ass, says a lie openly, like didn't check with anybody. Isn't this supposed to be a journalist? Like, or do we give Dave the benefit of the doubt? You guys know your boy Phil, like, do his insiders just fucking lie to him and laugh at him and think he's a stooge. Like, what is it to where he's wrong and just to the point where it's disgusting? Like, it's now just at the point where it's just, we're crossing over into like, you're affecting people's lives, bro. You're saying this shit, putting that juju out there. They're all in the room hoping he pulls through, and you're just like putting shit out there. I don't fucking know. This is disgusting. I have other people covering it as well. Chris Connor, I would like your thoughts on this incredible botch. And then I have some other people's comments on it. And there's other dirt sheets saying like wrestling. I don't want to call someone out that isn't the right one, but there's like a big time AEW wrestling features or one of these ones. Right. And they went out publicly and were like, we will no longer refer to Dave or cite Dave or whatever, because they regurgitate the shit too for clicks, and it gets fucking, they look stupid and they end up stepping in shit, and the backlash, it's not worth it. It affects people to where like his daughter's got to go publicly like, man, hey Dirty, shut the fuck up. Like, no, guys, stop saying this. Crazy, man. So yeah, Chris, I want your thoughts on this. Basically, this epic botch, the biggest botch of all time for Dave Meltzer.
I mean, are we surprised at this point, Vo? I mean, Dave Meltzer is sort of like the guy you know, like you remember like F. Lee Bailey, where at one point he's like, oh my God, that was a great lawyer. Vince like, oh God, this guy's like just a clown show. That is Meltzer. I mean, you look at Meltzer, you try to remember like at what point he was, you know, supposedly a legit reporter, and now he's just the guy that's like, oh, Meltzer reported it, chuckle, laugh, you know, Baghdad Bob, Tony Khan's sort of little buddy. Our friend Marvin, a movie monster, makes fun of him. I mean, at this point, it's like if anybody associate Dave Meltzer, you're like, oh God, this is just why?
It's fucking embarrassing, man, and it's a disgrace.
That's why I want to know, when will you go up? And I said forehand, backhand, just take off the glove and just slap him. He's calling you out. He is mocking you, sir. I understand there's that Canadian in you that just says, no, I got.
Hey man, Canadians fight, bro. We'll fucking throw down. That's
no, you're not. You're too polite. It's not like Americans will just walk up and deck the guy. But you Canadians, like, no, we can't. We're polite. So I'm saying,
we grow up in the woods.
You're inter-American.
We're in the mountains and shit, bro. We're in igloos, all right? You guys know. But David Shearer, a guy who may have a greater disdain for Dave Meltzer than myself, Dave Shearer, pardon me, friend of the show, great guy, never met him, says, if you ask why I think Uncle Dave is a hack piece of shit, here's why. What decent person reports someone died without confirming it? God, it's such a fucking botch, man. It honestly makes me sick.
Tell us what you know, you goddamn liar!
A piece of shit named Dave Meltzer. Fuck you, Dave. You are human feces. And I'm sorry, YouTube, but like, come on. Don't put the little yellow thing on my shit and limit my ads because I'm swearing so much. This guy deserves it, man. This is like, come on. Like, I'm not one of these cancel dudes. Oh, we got to cancel people. But like, this shit is getting cancelable to me where I'm like, we need to like everyone ignore this guy. But no, I want Dave to keep stepping on rakes, Sideshow Bob style. And like, because I'm going to keep laughing at his ass and I'm going to keep making fun of this human feces, as Dave Shearer eloquently put it. I don't know if we have other responses to it. Let me see. Let me just quickly scroll, guys. But definitely there was Wrestle Features, I believe. It was a big time AEW. They love AEW. They're anti-Fed, you can tell. And they flat out were like, we will no longer cover Dave Meltzer whatsoever. And which is good for them. I applaud them for that. And the biggest problem with Meltzer, Sideshow Dave, besides thank you, George, for that line. Besides being an utter
liar,
the biggest problem with him is he speaks out of ignorance. Okay. Now, what's ignorance, Phil? You know, ignorance is like when it's not even necessarily a negative thing to be ignorant about something, but it's just to be ignorant or to have ignorance is like when you're speaking on stuff that you don't know about, but you're confidently speaking about the shit. You know what I mean? That's ignorant to do. So this is why, like, you'll never see me dive into topics that aren't like, I just know wrestling, so I talk about wrestling with you guys. You know what I mean? So we could talk about like movies and writing and shit. I do that for work all day, so that's not, you know, that's not my cup of tea when I'm here doing this side thing, doing what my passion is. I love pro wrestling, you know. So, but and I'm not saying you can still be passionate about something and be ignorant about stuff related to that topic as well, but Dave just wallows in ignorance is what that's the through line here of this segment. And AEW Neckbeards compiled this. So Meltzer completely lying, being ignorant about Jacob Fatu and Roman, maybe not completely lying, but speaking out of ignorance. He starts fantasy mark booking, adding his own shit. He's ignorant. I'm ignorant too. I don't know if he's really hurt, you know what I mean? So but he wants to act on that and be ignorant about shit. And then with Alpha, ignorance, didn't do his diligence, doesn't apologize, speaking about shit he doesn't even know, putting turmoil on the family, stress, distress. He could get fucking sued for this stuff. That's just crazy. You start suing people, okay? I'll sue you. No, they do a lot of that in America too, okay? We're talking about America versus Canada. People don't get sued as much around here, okay? But anyways, Dave Meltzer goes out and he has the audacity, dude, to respond to someone on X. Someone, Beagleman 2020 says, given the Olympics, bullshit. Why does Raw and Sci-Fi beat the Olympics? Because they did. And Meltzer goes, please, no ignorance today. I'm doing a blocking for Ignorance Day. It's like, you're the most ignorant motherfucker there is. So he's blocking people for being ignorant about Raw doing well in the ratings. So Meltzer tweets out, Dynamite did 622K, 0.19 expected range given the Olympics. So when this guy goes, oh man, given the Olympics, bullshit, why does Raw and Sci-Fi beat the Olympics then? You're using the Olympics as an excuse. And then he's going, please, no ignorance today. I'm blocking for ignorance. It's like, Dave, I don't know. He's just a piece of shit. The problem is, too, is that he thinks he's smarter than other people. The dumbest fucking people are the people who think they're smarter than everyone else. Always, dude, because they expose themselves. Michael Driard for $5. Let's go. The Wrestling Observer. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. Dude, you're right. Maybe at the literal scum and villainy cantina. But yeah, that's what they should change the name of the Wrestling Observer to. But you're absolutely right, man. I think this is why Alvarez is starting to push it. Like, imagine you're Alvarez and your name's attached to all this. Like, it's humiliating at this point. It's got to be, I don't know. I'd be distancing myself at all costs. But Dave Meltzer. So after mind-bogglingly lying and calling people out for ignorance, even though he's the most ignorant motherfucker. And thank you, George Captor, for this one. Tags me in this screen grab. And guys, if you're going to tag me in Meltzer shit, make sure you screen grab it. I'm blocked. I'm ignorant, I guess. So I'm not allowed to see the news or follow stuff. So anyways, Dave Meltzer responds to this Jim Valley. Wrestlers no longer have to look like bodybuilders. They come in all shapes and sizes. They always have, but it definitely helps to keep your body in shape. There's clearly a difference. Also, just being in shape is healthy for you and stuff. And I'm not knocking anybody who isn't, man. Do your thing. Be happy. But what I'm saying is, when the job is like, hey, I'm this big burly guy who fucks people up, that's what it's supposed to be like, you know? We'll take the heavyweights in the UFC. There's a reason they all look like Roy Nelsons now for the most, and they're all mostly chunkier dudes going in there because USADA and all that. The drug testing eliminated, right? But the heavyweight division's also been less exciting. So there's a reason for that. Now, I'm not saying do needle steroids in your ass. We've covered it on the show, though. You can healthily do like steroids. The whole problem with drug testing, not problem, but like there's stuff you can go into Popeyes, buy over the counter that'll get you fucking swolled up and jacked. That help you anyways. You got to put work in. That's how you do that. But you can do that where you'll fail a drug test if you're in like a professional sporting, like, so it's not like steroids aren't like it used to be in the 80s and stuff. So I'm not saying, yeah, go to WWE and get juicy. But when Gunther shapes up, and then Meltzer criticizes him and goes, oh, he just looks like everyone else. And it's like, man, you're hating on this dude for like getting the healthiest he's ever been. Look up Jacob Fatu. Are you going to hate on a man who like got hit? Because, dude, with Fatu, to me, in my mind, I went, he's in a part of his career where he's already given a lot of his body to the business. And by the time he gets to WWE, they're just going to have him doing the slow style. Nah. He shows up and he's on that Tamatonga diet and he's like faster than he's like faster than I remember him. He's like, can jump higher. He's a freak now. And it's like, you can never hate on people for like doing that, bro. I don't know why. I don't know. It triggers Dave. He's always hating on people. I don't know if because he's like he's always working out, but I don't know. So Meltzer goes, it boggles my mind people don't get Ishii. No, we get him, bro. It's just that he's an old legend where when he's no-selling the world champion Swerve Strickland, it fucking sucks and is dumb and doesn't make sense. And it buries everyone, okay? So we get it, bro. But like, and also, you can't knock the people who don't get it, who don't watch New Japan 10 and 15 years ago, Dave. Jesus. Incredible seller. Watch people post no-sell clips and miss entirely what I said. Yeah, Dave, so this is the argument with Cassidy. Yes, if you can do things incredibly well, then it pisses people off when you do them poorly because it means you know how to do the thing but don't do the thing. Now, I'm okay with people with gimmicks like Orange Cassidy. I am. It's just the way they've been booked and presented and utilized and featured as like these serious competitors. No, it's not supposed to be that way. So your world champion shouldn't be on Collision being no-sold by Ishii. What should happen is Ishii should come in being presented for weeks as like, oh, this New Japan legend, and then fucking Swerve just beats him. And then you might be like, well, what does that do for New Japan? Well, nothing, because Ishii's not a main guy in fucking New Japan either. Like, that's the thing, dude. So anyways, Dave goes, timing like you wouldn't believe. If there was an art form for the term knowing when to do what, he's Van Gogh.
Shut up, bitch.
Meltzer just called him Van Gogh, dude. LC Killer for $2 says, why anybody don't take Dave to court? They're gonna, dude. This is what I said about the whole Logan Paul boxer controversy with the Olympic stuff. When you are fucking, if she sues him and wins, bro, all these IWC accounts are about to start disappearing because they talk way more shit than that about people without facts, dude. And it's like, I mean, if this sets a precedent of that's what a cyber attack is, dude, these fucking IWC people are getting sued left, right, and center. Shadow Bat Ash for $5. Thank you so much. There's no such thing as a smart mark because we're all dumb as fuck. Oh my God, that is
Dummy. Yeah.
Oh, that is so good. Oh my God, that's such a good fucking comment. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Shop smart, shop S smart, Phil S Marks. You know what it is, man. We're all marks, dude. It's funny too when you get comment like people like, imagine you just talking about wrestling. It's like, imagine you go in a wrestling video and then get mad about me getting mad about wrestling. Like, what the fuck? It's like inception of silliness. But yeah, dude, we're all marks. So it's only, yeah, guys, there's 203 in the chat. What are the likes at? We better be at 100 likes. 68 likes. What the fuck? There's 200 people watching the show. Run those likes up to 100. Oh my God. Can't believe you guys. Let's go, chat. Come on. I'm going off on Dave, dude. I almost said some like I was really biting my tongue.
So when's the fight going to happen? I want to know, when will there be a Phil Marks versus Dave fight? You walk up, you take off a glove, you slap him, you say,
no, it's not going to go down that way. You have this weird fantasy. You have this weird fantasy where we're going to like duel, or like I walk around wearing gloves and I'm going to like duel them and like I duel you at 10 paces. No, dude, no.
Yes.
If it ever went down, it would be...
because I can see the blood is boiling. You're getting angry for a Canadian, which I never thought is possible.
Dude.
So the next time you go to some pro wrestling event, you see Dave Meltzer there, you just walk over to him. You give him just like the forehand, the backhand, like the tennis golf slap and go, hey, you better keep our name out of your mouth there, buddy.
If it was like
I represent the wrestling fandom.
If it was a charity thing, I would absolutely do it, and I would do I'd grapple or I'd strike him. Or
so, dude, you know what?
For charity, whatever he wanted. But that's not even a thing that I'm throwing out there. That like,
yes, it is. You know what? There's
you're bringing it up. So that's
there is a guy, a mutual friend of ours.
He's an old man, dude. He's an old man.
There's a mutual friend of ours, Kevin, the War Dog Apollo, who has his own wrestling promotion all the way in Sloatsburg, New York. Once again, it is American Coliseum Wrestling. We can make it happen. We call up a War Dog and say, "Hey, this is a wrestling match. We'll put buckets."
Only if Kevin books me to go over. Only if Kevin books me to go over.
Then call
I'm
him
a narcissist, dude. I gotta
just call him and go, "Hey,
I'm an egomaniac.
We have a match that will put,
brother.
We have a match that will put asses in seats. It is Phil Marks versus Dave Meltzer in a tuxedo street fight." There you go. Call right now. We make the call. You know what Kevin Apollo and I do. We'll make that call right now. Go, Kevin. Phil Marks versus Dave Meltzer in a tuxedo street fight match.
I would never bump for Meltzer. That's the only thing. If there was an art form, he's Van Gogh. So he called Ishii Van Gogh. That's so funny. You're so funny, Chris. Okay, so AEW Neckbeards says this angle would have made more sense to Dave if they just started fighting in no-selling Canadian destroyers. So Dave Meltzer starts talking about recently. He made a couple comments about how Kevin Owens and the IWC is in an uproar about Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, basically saying like, I don't like this feud or like this match or this build-up because Kevin Owens and him are just friends and they're just challenging each other. Because meanwhile, I think it's perfect. This is just like a little side. This is just like a side note, a side quest for Cody where it's not people beating him down and attacking him and swerving him and breaking his trust. It's just him challenging a dude, like for once, like just a match. Meanwhile, it's in Berlin where Gunther has the heat and all of that. I think this is the way, because Gunther's the focal point of this show. I think it's a smart idea to do. It's a short mini program, a few weeks. It plays, it's like a B story to the main A story stuff that's going on. I don't mind it whatsoever. And we could totally see like the bloodline just fuck it all up too, to where like Cody doesn't pin KO. Or like, here's the other thing too. KO's in his stage of his career where like what? He's going to go on these big world title runs again, like maybe one more, but he's just giving back. He's doing his thing. He's making lots of money. He wrestled Stone Cold at Mania. He's been the world champ. What the fuck else is he going to do? Didn't he wrestle Goldberg or something, dude? Like, like the dude is, I think he did, right? What did he wrestle Goldberg? Like Kevin Owens he's done it all. I mean, it's time. He's just one of these guys where he's just over. He doesn't really need to ever do. He can just lose to LA Knight, help get him over more. Cody, help get him over more. That sort of thing. And it doesn't really hurt him in any way. I like this a lot. And then Ant Evans comments underneath here, who's a Dave Meltzer's friend, actually. But he's okay with people going hard at Meltzer. A friend of ours as well, friend of mine. And he's okay with people going hard at Meltzer. But he goes, to be honest, no one should sell a Canadian destroyer. Move makes 0 sense and relies 100% on the acrobatic cooperation of the opponent. Silly move. He's right. But Meltzer says, this was actually one of the weirdest angles I've ever seen. So, like, not weirder than, like, babyface Swerve invading Cribs and then becoming a babyface. Or, like, like, there's so many weird, goofy fucking storylines in AEW, or angles, rather, as Dave calls them. Angle, it was an angle show, it was an anglefish. But Dave goes, you should always be going for a championship. A guy offers you a championship match and you're going in there and turning it down. That is like, makes no sense. And I'll give him a bit of credit for that. It's true. But if you put it in the context of like how I explained it for Kevin Owens, where he's like, man, my friend's got the world title and he's like the best dude in the world, I'm going to go for that. But at the same time, Dave's a little right. Like, that's always the underlying thing of pro wrestling, is everyone's trying to win a championship in their divisions, right? So that's why when AEW just makes their whole shit about that, it's super boring, because we're like, well, we know that. Every sport is everyone trying to be the best. So, like, what about you makes you larger than life, you know? So anyways, though, Dave goes, you talk about something that makes no sense. This makes no sense. But like, you talk about something that makes no sense in compared to what? AEW? Like, the problem, Dave, is that WWE can get away with this a little more because they have so much good shit going on. So to focus on the one bad thing and really go hard on it, I know it's easy to do that, but in compared to what? Like, the shit we're clowning on AEW. That's what he's referring to when he goes, you talk about makes no sense. So makes no sense compared to all these shit stories in AEW where, for instance, they just had in a trios match, or they have coming up, right? It's fucking Dustin Rhodes, who's one of the 6-man ROH tag champs. Tonight on Collision, he's teaming up with, I fucking forget. God, someone tell me in the chat. So they have Dustin Rhodes, who just won the 6-man tag titles, teaming up with Sammy Guevara, who just returned to Ring of Honor, made his debut there. And on Collision tonight in AEW, they're teaming up for the tag titles, for the ROH tag titles against Matt Bennett or Mike Bennett and fucking the other guy, Matt Taven, right? The Kingdom. So they have 1/3 of the Ring of Honor 6-man tag champs and fucking Guevara, who saved Rhodes from an attack from the Kingdom, teaming up in a tag title match for the Ring of Honor tag titles on Collision. And it's like, why the fuck don't they have Roddy Strong in the Kingdom go against Dustin and the new team he just formed, who beat Bullet Club Gold for the 6-man tag titles? I know what I'm saying is so dumb and hard to follow, but I can follow it, but it's so fucking dumb and hurts my brain. But like, that makes no sense. And that's just like a one little thing. Whereas like, if you take like, what's the underlying story in WWE? Maybe like the Gable shit. Look how compelling that shit is. And Dave means to like, and he's going to really go out of his way to boo-boo on this, but not criticize what I just criticized about Collision, for instance. That's what drives me fucking insane. It's disingenuous. It's coping. It's him reaching and just grasping and trying to nitpick things about WWE, which we could do that, but that's just it. You have to nitpick WWE for the most part. There's nothing really that egregious going on in WWE. And I'm only comparing the two because that's what Dave's doing. And I hope you guys can follow what I was saying about the Ring of Honor stuff there. Like Dustin Rhodes just put together the Von Erich boys, a 6-man, and then they won the 6-man ROH tag titles from the Gun Clubs and Juice, right? In Ring of Honor. And then like 2 weeks later, literally, Guevara debuts for Ring of Honor, saves Dustin Rhodes from getting attacked from the Kingdom, and the Kingdom's a group of 3 or 4 guys, if I'm not mistaken. So what does Tony do? He books the Ring of Honor tag titles against one of the Ring of Honor 6-man tag champs and Guevara on AEW Collision for the ROH tag titles. Why the fuck isn't it a 6-man tag between the Kingdom? Meanwhile, he has Roddy Strong teaming with Takeshita and fucking whoever to fight Jay Briscoe and Kyle O'Reilly and shit over on Dynamite and Collision and shit. You guys know what I'm saying? Like, he has these factions, but they're not factioned up. Like, we can sit here and say, well, Karrion Kross's shit isn't that good, but at least he's in a stable that they keep a stable. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, at least they formed a stable and those guys teamed together. And it's not just like random nothing. So Dave is going to go, well, that doesn't make sense. Meanwhile, he's fucking rubbing his jeans right now. I'm going to say something way worse. He's rubbing himself right now watching Collision, watching shit that makes no sense, not saying anything about it, about to give it 4 stars. Sorry,
I just want to throw this out. I have already run the idea of a slap fight between you and Meltzer, you, Kevin. He has agreed to it. We're just going to get Meltzer involved. I've said that you will do it for charity.
Yes.
This needs to happen. I'm telling you.
An actual, like a power slap match?
Yes!
He would never do that, and I wouldn't hit an old man, but like I would do it.
You were raging. I can sense the rage.
But he wouldn't do that,
There
and,
is like
and I wouldn't hit an old
burning
man.
rage
That's
every
up.
time.
That's fucked up.
All we do is mention Meltzer, and just the anger comes out of you. You turn from this sweet Canadian to this angry guy, just like, I need to rage. So let's
and
do
according to the chat, they won the tag belts. So Dustin won the fucking tag belts? Are you kidding me, man? This shit. Oh my god. Oh,
This is why we go to Dave. Go look, power slap. We'll give you like puffy gloves, so this way it doesn't hurt too much. But you can get your rage. We'll do it for charity. It'll work.
So Meltzer continues on to say, this is actually one of the weirdest angles I've ever seen. You should always be going for a championship. A guy offers you we read that one. Sorry, bookmarked it twice. He's just dumb in two ways, right? So moving along here. I mean, God, Dave, yeah, he just irked the shit out of me. This is a crazy one. So in response, we're talking about ratings to this week's WWE NXT ratings. Dave Meltzer has said that WWE should have kept the NXT championship on Trick Williams, who has so much more charisma than potential number one contender Joe Hendry. Here's my whole thing. Ready? The North, Josh Alexander has beef with Joe Hendry on TNA right now. Josh Alexander has been backstage at WWE's and stuff. We covered it on the show. I think we're getting a heel North reunion, possibly in WWE, adding even more to the tag division. As I was telling you guys, they're fleshing out this tag roster. They just showed Ethan Page on SmackDown with the NXT title. He didn't get a big reaction, but I think they're fast-tracking Ethan Page to the main roster, and that's why they gave him this NXT title run fairly quickly. But I also I do agree with Dave here. I think Trick has more charisma, and then him losing to Dunn, I think, hurts him worse than losing the belt. I think him losing to Page, he could get it back, and the pop would be huge, and because Trick should be the head of that. The ratings reflect that as well. But Dave Meltzer says, I'm not saying this is the reason for this week's NXT ratings, but I don't think beating Trick Williams was a smart idea. Beating him with Pete Dunne wasn't a smart idea, because I think he was the heart and soul, the biggest draw they had, and now he's just a guy. No, he's not just a guy, Dave. You just wrote him off, but you're willing to blow Wheeler Yuta? Nah, dude, he's not just a guy, but he will be if they don't get him back in that title picture. I agree, but I think there's fast tracking Ethan Page to the main roster, and he'll drop that belt back to Trick, and I think we see a North reunion of some sort involving Trick and Hendry versus the North. But anyways, they seem to be trying to make Joe Hendry the guy, and Joe Hendry has something, but I think Trick Williams has so much more charisma for long term, and he's the guy they were building for a long time. It's true, Dave, it's true, but you got to fucking stack some chips on this Hendry guy too, because that's what it is. It's like going to be Hendry and Trick versus the North, and then Hendry won't win the NXT title, but then he'll go to TNA and win that TNA title for them, and then fucking like Trick will get his belt back, and then I think we see the North go main roster, dude. I'm telling you.
Well, wait a minute. I mean, first they have to sign Josh Alexander.
No, they don't need to. They can leave him in TNA and then just let them do what they're doing with Hendry and Jordan Grace, because they have these weird deals worked out with them where
they have deals that they can appear for, on appearance for NXT, but for the main roster, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, it would be the same thing though, because they have a deal with Hendry where he can use the PC all he wants. He can use their facilities PC. All he wants. Right. But but listen, when he's done, when his TNA deal's up, he can't go sign anywhere else major other than WWE. But until then, he can go work any indies wherever he wants. He just can't go to AEW, and then he can use their facilities as long as they'll have them. Same with Jordan Grace. So when her deal's up, she can go and she just can't sign with any major other than WWE. That's for me poking around. That's how I understand these deals are worked out. So they could do the same thing with Josh. They could bring him in and go main roster. We'll pay you per appearance. You have full access.
We're not even sure we're going to do that yet, because remember they have too much talent. They can barely get people on the main roster who are already on the main roster. I mean, we're looking around going, holy crap. I mean, there's weeks where we don't even see like Bianca Belair and Jade because, tag titles aren't there. We got to get, Blair Davenport versus Naomi. I mean, there's just not enough room. There's purely not enough room. The poor Street Profits times can't get enough room. The only time this week we saw the two guys you like, Pretty Deadly, they came out, they did a really cheesy song and dance, then they got their ass whooped, which basically by Misha, which might as well just show you what WWE thinks of certain tag teams. Like, yes, you got your ass whooped by a woman in a kendo stick. Yeah, you ever thought that happened to him?
Oh man,
no. So just stop it. You know what? There's a better chance right now of you and Meltzer in a wrestling match.
Oh my God, this guy won't let that shit go.
Versus any WWE tag teams headlining a WrestleMania main event.
I don't think any like a tag team match did headline WrestleMania this past WrestleMania. Also headlined the first ever WrestleMania, but
not an established tag team. Like, oh yes, we're throwing together a bunch of singles here, guys.
But that could happen one day. But we don't know yet. I'm not saying that would ever happen. I like when it's a big singles for the world. Jack Perry built like Jim Day wasn't an option.
Yeah.
I don't know. He gets shaped up, bro. He's got a good physique. He's just a little dude, man. How tall is he? Like 5'3"? What are we? Thank you, Andre Adams. George Captor says, Phil, we have some people from Australia in the chat, and they're not sure if AEW even airs in some parts there. I mean, does that shock you? I have no idea. They live there. They'd have to tell me whether or not it airs there, because I have no idea, but it wouldn't shock me in the least. Yeah, so we're going to talk about their stadium show and all of that in just a moment here. And I actually have the next thing pulled up, but just my last thoughts on this Joe Hendry, Josh Alexander stuff. I just see the stories interweaving because you got Paige has heat with Hendry on NXT, and then Alexander has heat with Hendry over on TNA, and it just makes sense that that's what they're going to. I mean, what else I don't know. Why wouldn't it happen? Why wouldn't they cross over? And
because for right now, and
they don't even need to stay a tag team. They can stay singles, but they could just reunite like one night for like a big NXT show against Trick and Joe, and then the stipulation could be if Trick and Joe win, then Trick and Joe get respective title shots or something, because I don't know. I see Josh taking that belt off Nemeth just in TNA. I don't know if you guys are following TNA, but I fucking love TNA. So anyways, moving along here, we're talking about the stadium show. Dave Meltzer on AEW's reported plans to host a stadium show in Australia in 2025. That's a big undertaking, an Australia show. I don't know if they'd sell out a major arena in Sydney or Melbourne. Pardon me, I'm saying Cena. Are you sure about that? So, but I think they would do very well. WCW in 2000, when they were dead, still did good numbers in Australia just because of the scarcity and everything like that. I think first time in, they'd do well. The idea of going to a stadium, man, they don't have the viewership. They don't have the popularity they do in the UK. Yeah, I agree. I think this is desperate times for AEW. I think Tony's hotshot booking the stadiums because this is it. Like, and then we'll talk about what he said later, but they're doing All In Texas. And then he's like, we're going back to London, but it's not a Wembley show and it's not All In. He clarified that. So they're going to go back to London to just like do a full gear or something. They're done there. WWE cooked them. Literally, WWE cooked them, and they're not running Wembley anymore. This will be their last Wembley show. So it is kind of sad, but we'll get into the IWC sickos blaming WWE and calling them bullies and all of that in a bit. But I don't know. Dave goes on to say, WWE pulled off 3 stadium shows. They were all successful. UFC pulled off stadium shows there. I don't know. I'm skeptical of it. But then you put over WWE. Like, why can't you say, yeah, because they're actually over there? Maybe they'll pull it off because WWE pulled off somehow because they're huge there. UFC somehow pulled it off because they're huge there, bro. They have a bunch of fucking champions. They have a bunch of fighters from there. They spent a long time building and getting this market bigger and bigger. Fuck Dave. AEW spent no time building this market. They're just hotshot booking goofs, man. And Tony's just doing this thinking he'll match WWE. We'll show them. And then a stadium show in Texas. He can't even sell at the eSport arena in fucking Texas. And he's going to do a stadium show there? How's that going to work? What do you think they sell? Like, what match? Chris Connor, you tell me, what matches could AEW do in 2025 to pull off a stadium show in Texas and have it sell 40,000 tickets. And they're not even going to, they're going to sell maybe, I don't even think they'll sell 20 because what match can they do to pull that off? I want to hear your thoughts, Chris Connor. What match can they do in Australia? What match can AEW do in fucking Texas to draw?
I also don't know. I mean, look, my argument is I've made this. Are we even sure that they're going to get their TV deal renewed? I mean, it's been, it's August 17th. Still haven't heard word yet. Oh, yeah, we're getting renewed. Yeah, the TV deal is signed. It's like it was supposed to be, okay, well, they're going to get signed like last year. Didn't get signed. We're going to get signed by the March. No, hasn't been signed by March. Oh, they'll be get done by the end of the Olympics. Well, the Olympics are done. And it's like, well, when? And I keep arguing with people. It's like, you look at most sports deals that get, renewed, and they're usually renewed or they're signed a year or more in advance. Like WWE did, look when they signed their Netflix deal. It was the beginning of the year. And they weren't even, they were basically still had a full year left of running on Monday nights on USA Network. Same thing with Fox. They basically switched. Oh, yeah, we're, December of last year, they announced, yes, we are going to, SmackDown is getting brought to the USA Network. This is December of last year.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you're looking at all this stuff, and it's like, the NBA deal just got closed this past, month. And that doesn't even end until the end of 2025. It's like, at some point, when do we go? Well, this is bad. This is really right. Bad.
And we have a super chat from Everett Todd that says, for $2, says, make Jeff Jarrett GM, head of creative. Yeah, I'm going to do this like because, guys, I want to start bringing you guys like some more scripted kind of content too, where I, get my friends from the IWC and we sort of break down like, okay, how the fuck are we going to save AEW? Let's say we had to do it right now. So I'm going to do like a little couple videos like that. One of which is how to legitimately save AEW. I know other people do it, but have made videos like that. But I think legitimately I would have good ideas. One of which is, honestly, yes, like, Tony, step back. If you're going to tease and try and bring Shane McMahon in, fucking team him up with Jeff Jarrett. You know what I mean? And let them just run the creative or run the booking side of all of it. Like, you have to do something drastically different than what you're doing now. I'm not saying that's the best idea, but if he's going to sit there and tease Shane McMahon and the fans are going to go, we would love Shane McMahon, okay, you give the reins to him and Jeff Jarrett. Or you like make them GMs of separate shows and let them do the creative while you take a step back. I would do it. I would bring in an Eric Bischoff and these guys who've been there and done that before. I'm not saying pull together Vince Russo and do the old TNA committee, but I'm not saying bring Hulk Hogan in. But yes, dude, give Jeff Jarrett or someone at least somewhat competent the reins. If you're going to tease Shane McMahon, if you're going to bring him in any way, don't have him on TV. Just have him behind the fucking scenes or have him on TV as the commissioner or something, but completely render the creative over to him and other people. Like, if you're going to have these committees, have one that makes fucking sense, that disagree with each other and will challenge each other creatively. That's how you make the best art. What say you, Chris Connor? No Jeff Jarrett in creative or what?
Yeah, because Jarrett wants to wrestle. So until he decides I'm going to hang it up, I would not put any active wrestler. I wouldn't put Bryan Danielson.
I agree with that, yeah.
In a perfect world, let's say perfect world. Let's say Tony realizes, crap, this is not working. Dad's going to cut me off. I need to do something drastic. I'll step aside. I'd give everything to Jim Ross to go, Jim, look, I'm giving you the Bobby Bowden rule. You can pick who you want, decide who you want to have as your booking committee. I'll step back, let you run the whole thing. You could be like the overseer / CEO of this whole thing. You could pick who you think could be the booking team.
That's a great choice, Jim Ross. That's an awesome choice, Chris. Yeah, that's a great choice.
I'd also cut down the roster. I'd cut this roster down to about 90 people. 90 people. Figure out who the elite people are. Anybody who can't speak English, you gotta get rid of them. Anybody who
Chris! Oh my God!
Well, we're an English speaking. This is an English speaking audience. If you can't do promos, if you cannot, Are we? I mean, are we wrong? I mean, if you can't speak English, how are you going to do a promo? Or are you just going to sit there and tweet on your phone and not have a phone go, "Ooh, this is awesome"? I mean, that just
You had me until then because, dude, no, Nakamura does shit like
Nakamura can speak some English at least.
Well, that's true, but he cuts his.
And even then, have we
I'm
seen
okay with
Nakamura? Has Nakamura been on TV of late? No, he's been. Where is Nakamura? He should be on a milk carton. I mean, you look at it here. The best stars in pro wrestling right now are all English speaking. That's why Rey Mysterio has been a transcendent Latino superstar because he's bilingual. He can speak English and Spanish, and he's both of them fluidly. If you can't speak English, you cannot do a promo. You cannot go and do media rounds. You cannot do TV appearances. You literally cannot do any of that stuff. That's why
Io Sky? No?
Io Sky's not a big star. She's
come on. Okay, we got
Is
George
she? I mean,
Let
me ask you this right now. Can you put Io Sky on Regis and Kathy Lee? Or
no, who the fuck watches Regis and Kathy Lee? I don't even think Kathy Lee's on Regis and Kathy Lee anymore.
You can't put her on any sports talk show or any mainstream talk show because she cannot speak English. Meanwhile, you can put Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch all over the place, and they will get to that crossover audience that you want. You're trying to build the audience, not get the sickos. The sickos will come no matter what. You're trying to build an audience, and right now you can't do it with a bunch of people wrestlers, I should say. Some of them, if they can't speak English, I'm sorry, you got to learn the language. Otherwise, what are we doing here?
What are we
doing
here?
This isn't just a pro wrestling thing. This is an entire sports thing. Go to baseball, go to basketball, go to.
I disagree, man.
Football.
UFC's the biggest, fastest growing,
and you know what they do? They are making their athletes learn English because they are understanding. We need, if you want to do interviews,
they have translators and shit. They have that guy who does they have translators and stuff.
Yes, but you know what? The bigger stars, who are they? They're all English speaking. Israel Adesanya. It's John Jones. It's Conor McGregor. It's Patty Pimblett. What a surprise, surprise. They speak English.
Okay, let's get to the super chat here. So according to chat in Australia, I don't entirely disagree with you on that, but I just think that you can.
You're the PC guy. I get it. So we should just talk about, what?
Bro, I'm saying look at Anderson Silva.
We should just talk about then. You know what? Dave Meltzer versus friggin' Phil Marks. I will even pay you.
Chat, what are we going to do with this guy, Chris Connor? Hey, what are we going to do with this guy?
Because I can see the rage. You're just like this angry Canadian with an American coming out going,
buddy, I wish you cancer. Cancer? Yeah, I wish you cancer.
You want to slap a bitch, but you can't because you're too polite. So I've gotten War Dog Apollo to agree to the match. We will contact Dave Meltzer. You can use the big, foamy gloves. We'll donate money to charity so you feel better.
Okay, but just go, you know what? Aubrey Edwards has to guest ref it as well. That's the other.
How about instead we'll do it in the middle? AEW Neckbeard can be guest referee.
Oh, God damn. Okay, so according to chat in Australia, AEW streams only on KO Sports. KO Sports. And we have shrimp on the barbie. Grab a koala bear for KO Sports. No, I'm sorry if that pisses you guys off, but I got to practice my my bits and my characters elsewhere. George, thank you for the super chat and thank you for that information. I don't know the whole setup with Australia. I don't imagine AEW's big anywhere. It is bigger in Canada though, like legit. If you look at their TSN numbers and all that, they do good numbers in Canada, but not attendance wise. They've gone down and down like everywhere else. But yeah, I don't know, man. Meltzer's even skeptical though if they can pull it off, and I don't blame him. So Meltzer, though, being skeptical about things, the Young Bucks being absent from AEW TV the past couple weeks had long been scheduled as time off to sell the injuries from Blood and Guts. But then they were on TV after Blood and Guts. So no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't at all. They were on TV after Blood and Guts, not selling shit. And then Meltzer goes, despite their new contracts calling for less dates. So they re-signed new NBA level deals. WWE didn't want them at all, or we would have heard the bit of, and their executives, they get NBA level 7-figure fucking deals and they get even less dates, even though they're the shits and they fucking destroy the ratings when they're on television, which we're going to get into in our AEW news. So Meltzer's saying they won't be on every Dynamite between now and the end of the year. You have Wembley coming up, your biggest show, and they're in a random 3-way tag match. No payoff to them attacking Tony Khan, nothing. They're in a random 3-way tag match wrestling FTR again. They're doing less dates, apparently to sell injuries that they were no-selling on TV already right before All In. And this is their I don't understand. Like, this is all so dumb. Tony's giving them even more money. Oh my God, this is great. The Young Bucks, they're amazing.
Best guys, Tony Khan.
A huge fail, man. Just terrible. And yeah, fuck these guys. They drain your drain your ratings. They deplete them. They make people turn the show off. They're not good. They've been exposed. They're not good EVPs either, clearly. And you're giving them NBA level deals again to have less dates, which it's like good for the show, but then they're your tag champs, and then it's leading up to All In, and they attacked you, and the big payoff was your Blood and Guts TV show. It wasn't where Jay Briscoe randomly hit one of the Bucks. I mean, Jack Perry with a chair, with a headshot, chair shot, and instead of using that heat, like now it's like Darby versus Jack Perry and the Bucks against FTR and the Acclaimed in a 3-way tag match randomly at the second All In when they wrestled FTR already. This shit is awful. This shit is terrible. I don't know what to tell you guys. All In is going to be one of the greatest PWT live shows ever, because it's going to be so funny how hard I roast this shit. And yeah, man, your thoughts on the Bucks taking time off, dude, right before All In?
Look, this is the perks of when you're the executive vice president of a company, and the owner loves being your buddy. And Dave Meltzer is basically like the godson of one of their kids, or he's a perk, so they can do what they want. If the company goes under, well, screw it. They're still getting paid. They're gonna, they should have moved on. Hashtag Tony picked the wrong guy. He should have backed Cody instead of the Bucks. But this is where we're at, and unfortunately, they're stuck with the Bucks. And it's just, as I said, this AEW needs like a hard reset, and I don't know if there's enough time for that. I'm convinced WBD could just go at the end of the year go, hard pass.
Yeah. When Cody was in AEW, I always pictured it like, man, in 5 years, he's going to be, it's going to be a true challenger. Like, it's going to be Starrcade. Like, Cody's going to do what his dad did. He's going to be his dad, but in a new company with truly some of the best and they were hot wrestlers, man, at that time. Kenny Omega and them and the Bucks and stuff. And I was like, man, these guys won't be selfish. It won't just be a shit show. We're going to see some of the best talent in the world. But yeah, when I started seeing signs of like just hiring all their friends, and then I don't know, you just slowly saw it happening. If you're an objective thinker like myself, I was like, no, this is the opposite of what we said it was going to be or thought it was going to be. And I thought Cody would be the one to be able to straighten it all out. And no, he just left. So that's how bad it is. You're like, damn, I thought he was going to be the one to lead the charge and like recreate it. Like, dude, one day they'll have like their Starrcade and type show, and it'll go head to head, and like they'll do the damn thing. Because Dusty, man, he made a run in like in Florida and all that shit. Like he blew up territories, man. And I was like, Cody's about to do it, And nah, man, he had to leave, and then he just went and did it for WWE. He just added on top of the, WWE's already surging, and he just came and like transformed them into Super Saiyan Blue and shit. That's all he did, George Captor for $5 says, one more. Now it's coming out slowly that many of the AEW talents have limited dates on their contracts. Yep, we are talking about it, George. Thank you so much. Let me give you a round of applause, buddy. Thank you so much for the support of the show, being here, helping take care of the chat. Yeah, so that's the other thing. A lot of these talents like have limited dates. A lot of them always were as well. Like, you took guys like the Boys, right? They were signed to, they were signed to AEW, like Slim J or whatever that guy's name was. He was signed to AEW Ring of Honor as like he couldn't wrestle anywhere else. And they just paid him per like appearance, you know? So he signed to AEW, but it's like he's actually hurting. So there's a lot of cases like that too. And I'm not saying the boys are hurting, but what I'm saying is that a lot of people, because it's all private, are signed to Tony's not above doing like these different, like WWE, it's pretty standard. We kind of know when people's deals come up, and then they are signed for like 5 years or 3 years or 7 years or whatever. Tony is not. He'll do like all different types of deals for different people. Everyone's special, you know. That's why it's Mickey Mouse, dude. But everything's great. It's a magical, wonderful ride. But yeah, dude, that's why all these deals just kind of come up at these random times as well. Like, it's not like, you know, at WWE, you always know kind of when the cuts are coming, when a handful. You notice WWE, there's a bunch of deals coming up kind of at the same time. You know, with Tony Khan, it's not so much like that. You know, it's very unique for a lot of different people. But of course, like, how do you have the structure the way WWE does? But anyways, but as far as the limited dates, though, like as in their time's almost up. Yeah, apparently, was it you, Chris Connor? It was someone telling me a while back on the show. You're going to see it with all these AEW deals coming up, and we're just seeing more and more. They're coming up, and they're testing the waters. Like even Garcia, who clearly still signed with AEW, you know, they're trying to put that bidding war shit on him. You can tell, like they're trying to, even MJF tried to give him that rub, like, oh, who knows where Garcia is going to go? It's like clearly he's staying with AEW, but they want to build that allure and try and work people into getting invested in Garcia. Like, I know that's what they were trying to do with that Garcia shit, was get WWE fans and the WWE drones to start going, oh man, Garcia would be so good in NXT, but no, we didn't do that. We were all like, and yeah, I'm calling myself a drone at this point. Like I've been standing WWE, like everything they've been doing lately, you know. I have been going hard on shit. I have called out a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, like if someone called me a drone, I wouldn't even get mad at it at this point, because I've just been so negative on AEW. I tried and they let me down. I was so optimistic like 4 weeks ago, still about AEW, trying my best, put my fucking foot in my mouth because of it. And yeah, don't be surprised if we see more people going to WWE and TNA. And speaking of which, I pray to God Bobby Lashley doesn't go to AEW and he goes to fucking TNA. But we'll talk about all that later because there's news on that. But thank you, George Capture. You're the man. Appreciate that. Andre Adams for $2 says Jack Perry built like wet toilet paper. Oh man, he keeps in shape though, man. You know, I'm not gonna entirely hate on him. He looks like, you know, he looks like one of those CrossFit dudes or something, but built like wet toilet paper. Yeah. Oh my God. Thank you so much for the super chat. Round of applause for both of you guys. Round of applause for the 235 of you in here today. And we're at 92 likes. There's 237 of you watching. 8 of you go and hit that like. I can't believe you're disrespecting me like that. No, I'm just kidding. Guys, go and hit that like button. It's the free way to support the channel. Get us over 100 and I'll stop bringing up the likes.
By the way, I just want to point this out. I know it's Wikipedia, so people always edit it. It's under Jack Perry's bio goes parents, Luke Perry, relatives, Perry, Punk's dog, grandfather. I gotta ask, is that you, Phil? Did you put this there? I know you loved like pushing buttons and poking little bears.
No, I didn't do that. Hold on. Let me pull this shit up. Jack Perry Wikipedia. Oh my God. Let's see. Jack Perry Wikipedia. We're gonna show this up on
Echo's born.
Yo, chat. Look at this right here. You guys see this? Perry. He's 27. Los Angeles. Partner Anna J. Parents Luke Perry. Relatives.
Either that or it is the ultimate troll job by Drew McIntyre.
Punk's dog, his grandfather. Yo, who did that? Oh my God, you guys, we need flutes in Meltzer's Wikipedia. Oh, I'm not saying do that, but like if that happened, I would laugh so hard. But like I'm not saying to do that, but like if that did ever I don't know how to do that, but like damn, that's hilarious that Larry is his grandfather, man. That oh my God. Yeah, it would be totally like imagine if imagine if I said like, oh guys, go and like put flutes on Meltzer's Wikipedia, but like I didn't say that. But like if I did say that, that would be crazy if it actually happened, you know, in like a dream scenario. But yeah, I definitely didn't say that. But if I did say put flutes on Meltzer's Wikipedia, that would be fucking hilarious. Man, that is super funny. That is so funny, Chris. That's such a slam dunk. Thank you for bringing that to the show. So Meltzer, though, he talks about Daniel Bryanson. I keep doing that because that's my joke, but it's people will think that's what I actually think his name is. Okay. I'm not shobbing here, guys. That's what it. Okay. Are you familiar with Brendan Schaub, Chris Connor?
Yes, I am.
Are you familiar with like how he's a lol cow now in the internet? Like, are you familiar with that at all?
Oh yeah, I mean, thanks to Joe Rogan, that's how he got to start in stand-up comedy, podcasting, and everything.
But now he's like a lol cow because of his comedy and stuff. Are you aware of all of that? It's like
I mean, as I said, I saw his stuff when he was working with Rogan, Brian Callen, all those guys. So he's.
Yeah, it's funny how he completely just gets roasted now, and people just shit. I'm a huge like fighter in the kids subreddit, homeless cat Changs, PF Changs. I don't know if there's anyone who watches this show that's with me on that, but it is like the weirdest, funniest subreddit of all time. And yeah, I just thought I'd ask you that because he used to be a UFC fighter. Anyways, let's stick on the topic of pro wrestling.
He has his own whiskey brand called Tiger Thick.
Thick, dude, with 2 C's. But here's the thing. He abandoned the Wigski company, as they call it. Instead of whiskey, Wigski. Yeah, he abandoned the company, basically, and he's like selling it off. And yeah, it's just this shit whiskey that I don't know. That's a whole other thing. That's a whole other show, is the Brendan Schaub lore. What I'll do is I'll bring it to this show where he tried to cover pro wrestling stuff for a bit, and he was trying to pretend he was a pro wrestling fan forever. And I was just like, no, you're not. And then he like interviewed Rey Mysterio and was like, it was just complete botches. I'll cover that sometime on the show. But we got a super chat from You Ain't Hype for $10.
Acknowledge me.
You Ain't Hype said, can't really blame anyone going to AEW as an outsider looking in. However, I'd imagine the wrestlers know what they're getting themselves into. Let's just sit back and enjoy the chaos.
Dummy. Yeah.
That's pretty much it, dude. I just like the chaos. I like the carnage. I'm going to laugh at it. I'm going to always laugh at Meltzer. I'm never going to it's the same thing with Brendan Schaub. So that's why I always see Tony Khan, like Brendan Schaub'd himself. There's people who do that, who they like work themselves into where they end up becoming lol cows. But I don't ever want Brendan Schaub to stop trying to do calmedy, as he calls it, or doing his shitty podcast, because it's not even hate watching it. Like it's almost like funnier than people trying to be funny. That's sort of what AEW is. It's like, I'll never stop watching it because it's almost like a parody of wrestling. Someone commented that a long time ago under one of my videos. They're like, Phil, if you watch AEW as a parody of wrestling, then it's just fucking hilarious. And like, I don't mean to shit on the boys like that. I love so many wrestlers there. I do love the great matches. Like I get hyped for the pay-per-views. You guys watch them with me, man. And I put shit over, but it's what it is, man. It's like they work themselves into these situations where they become what's known as lol cows. And yeah, that's how Brendan Schaub and Tony Khan, that's the same category. Opie from Opie and Anthony, Joe Matarese did that. There's a lot of these people in entertainment who've done that. And Tony did that in the pro wrestling world. And yeah, exactly. I just sit back, play my flute, drink my giant bière, and just enjoy my time, dude, and just laugh at Meltzer. You know, what else can you do? Thank you so much for the super chat. And then George Captor for $2 says, over 100 likes. PWT Universe has spoken.
Acknowledge me.
I'm a draw. Let's go. Thanks, guys, for the 100. Now, I'm not going to ask you all night, but there's 230 of you. Run it up to 200, and even if you hate me and you hate listening or hate watching. But anyways, Dave Meltzer says that Bryan Danielson genuinely does not feel the need to win the AEW World Championship. I think they swerve us all and Danielson wins the world title because they have us all. He's doing interviews going, I don't need it. And doctors are saying I'll die if I wrestle. And he's going, this is match versus retirement or whatever, title versus retirement match. Pardon me. I think Danielson swerves us all and beats Swerve at Wembley, which would be, or maybe not because people would get mad. But I mean, what has Swerve's run been? And Danielson, you mean to tell me you're going to have him retire without him touching your world title? Without him holding that goddamn thing and doing media and doing at least one tour with that title? No. There's no way Tony Khan doesn't let him. I wouldn't. If you own a pro wrestling company and Danielson comes in after WrestleMania, post WrestleMania Danielson, and he doesn't touch your world title, you're in trouble, buddy. So he's going to win the belt at Wembley. That's what I think. This is them trying to make us all go, oh my God, what a way to cap off a career. He wins the title and I guess he's not done, type shit, da-da-da-da-da. And then maybe Ospreay does that move to him one last time and whatever. That's my fantasy mark booking, but I think that's the swerve that's coming. And Meltzer, of course, would propagate the shit. So he says, I did hear from Bryan Danielson. So the deal with him doing the interviews of how he's not interested in winning the championship, that wasn't a swerve to make people think he wasn't going to win. I think it is, dude. In AEW, one of the reasons. And if Dave is stooging all of this, why, if you want the company to succeed and you want AEW to do better, and these are your friends, and you truly want them to do good, why would you be stooging this then? Why wouldn't you want there to be an era of Mystique? Like Dave's going, nope, don't be invested in this story and get swerved and think he's going to win. Don't be intrigued and compelled by this and be hyped and maybe Daniel Bryanson will Bryan Danielson, I gotta stop doing it. Bryan Danielson will pull it off. You guys know what I'm saying? Like, why would you stooge this then? So either he is on the swerve, or this motherfucker's literally that dumb. It's one of the two.
Dummy. Yeah.
That's my thing with Dave. He keeps me guessing because there's no other way around it. It's either one of those two things, chat. Either he's dumb as fuck and he's stooging it to the masses and ruining the intrigue of the show to the people who watch this fucking show, or he's in on the swerve. And either way, it's gross and piggish. What a fool. So that was okay. In AEW, one of the reasons he's lost so much is he just wants to put people over. Yeah, same in WWE, but you all criticize that. Danielson really put all these guys over? Yeah, because he's in his lay down era, dude. We talked about it. He's just laying down for everyone. Anyways, one of the reasons he came to AEW was to help AEW because he thought the better thing for business as a whole was a strong AEW. Okay, but that doesn't mean just beating yourself to mash. That's not the main reason, but it was a reason. The real life Bryan Danielson is he motivated? Does he need to win? The real life Bryan Danielson, is he motivated? Does he need to win the world title? The answer is no. The storyline Bryan Danielson right now, yes, the answer would be yes. Dave, you're just hurting AEW with all of this bullshit, man. It really stresses me out. And then Meltzer said what to that? You ain't hype super chat to lean into that a bit too. Meltzer said what? Tweets out, when technology allows Dave's brain to be preserved in a robot jarhead, he can live long enough to rate a match infinity stars. And that's what I hope for. I hope Dave Meltzer downloads his consciousness into a fucking avatar surrogate. So I'll do the same. And then we can live forever playing flutes. Sorry, I had to drink some beer in Minecraft, and maybe we'll live long enough for Chris Connor to witness a match between us. The max score. So here, this is what Dave said. Listen how fucking dumb this is.
Yeah.
At Shursky tweets, responds to some bullshit. I mean, not really though. A max score is no longer 5. Exactly. People go, Meltzer's max score is 5. No, it's not. It's 7, whatever. So a max score is no longer 5, which is what you literally need. If you're going to critique something, you guys, you need to have, you can't critique it if there's no, basis of the critique. Okay, go out there and just mark out over shit and bury shit and go, I don't have a star rating. That doesn't matter. That part's subjective. That's what you need to say. But instead, Dave is like, well, we have a 5-star system. And then he gave shit 7, 6 stars, 7 stars. And then now listen to what he says. So this guy goes, I mean, not really, though. A max score is no longer 5. Therefore, the scale has changed. Yep. 5 is now 77%. Those matches are that much less than the 6 and 6.5 stars. That's an opinion, all right. So exactly. Now these matches where he's like, oh, 3 stars are less than, or even like a 5-star match. Like let's say he gave Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns 4 stars. It's that much less than the 7-star Okada Kenny match you gave though. And honestly, like these matches are more memorable. The Kenny Okada stuff's more memorable as like a series to me. It was a series of matches that they had with each other and other people surrounding the story that made those matches so great. But to give that 7 stars and then not, so exactly, this guy just explained logically how this shit doesn't make sense. Meltzer goes, the max score is infinity.
Liar!
What a fucking sicko. 4.75 still means a match of the year contender. So if it's out of infinity, then how is it a match of the year contender? You know? Oh, well, because everything else was 5. So we go, it's so fucking stupid. So if you have a 4.5 match in the year you gave whatever 7 stars, Dave, then it's not a match of the year contender. That's like way below 7, you know? So none of this shit makes sense. Dave's fucking stupid. And yeah, dude, I hope he does preserve his brain because that is just dumb shit that I love roasting. And then Meltzer said what? Tweets out, remember when you said AEW wasn't worth 1/3 of WWE, 2 billion versus 6 billion? And then you added that AEW wasn't worth 1/6 of WWE, 1 billion versus 6 billion either. And then the Tampa Bay Lightning have started a multi-stage sale process that values the team at 2 billion. It would be nearly double the record sale price. Meltzer goes, are hockey fans crying tears over this? Yeah, Dave, there probably is a bunch who are crying tears over it. But also, Dave, you predicted, as Meltzer said, what? That you said out loud that AEW wasn't worth 1/3 of WWE. And then on another occasion, and then later you added it wasn't worth 1/6 of WWE. So that's why people get outraged when Forbes comes out and says 2 billion. And then now they're writing articles about, oh, it's worrying times for AEW. Because of the ratings. It's because you said they're going to get a fucking $1 billion TV deal as well. This is $2 billion for the Tampa Bay Lightning for a sale, dude, for everything. So it's just, again, comparing completely different things. Here's Meltzer said what with receipts right here. Let's slap Meltzer around a bit.
A lot of bad stuff. I mean, one thing, you know, I was actually just thinking about this the other day. It was like, you know, the football team owner started a wrestling company and the wrestling owner started a football league. And everybody told me that the wrestling owner was that the football team owner doesn't know what he's doing. And the wrestling owner is the great businessman. And one lasted like 5 weeks and the other one's grown his company for 5 years to where it's worth whatever it's worth. You know, I mean, somebody will say $1 billion.
Grown it. Tony hasn't grown. It hasn't grown. It's done the opposite of grow. It's shrunk. All that's grown is the money he spends on fucking talent.
Or somebody will say 2 billion. I mean, if WWE is worth what it is, they ain't worth 2 billion because they're not 1/3 or 1/6. The WWE half is a little over 6 billion, and they're not 1/6. So I would not say that they're worth $1 billion, but you know, maybe other people would. I mean, like I said, I've seen it valued at 2 billion even. So who knows?
Do you guys see what's happening here though with Dave tweeting out schmarmy shits? Are hockey fans crying tears over this? He's getting fed up. He's getting frustrated, and that's why now more than ever we need the Dave Meltzer appearance on Pro Wrestle Times podcast. That's right, folks. We need to see flutes under every Wrestling Observer comment. Any live show, any chat, any tweet they fucking put out, we need the flutes. Flute Army needs to show up, and we need to get Meltzer to identify and address and acknowledge PWT and come on the show.
Acknowledge me.
And Chris Connor will get a verbal match We won't get a physical confrontation.
No, don't
as
do
you
that.
would.
I want a slap fest. I want you to put on the big fluffy gloves and walk up Dave Meltzer and go,
Dude, they'd give me a prison sentence for assaulting a senior citizen. I'm like,
as I said,
more than half
it
his
will
age.
be-
I think
it
I'm like
will
half his
be-
age.
It will be a charity match. That's how we get charity. AEW Neckbeard as the referee. If Kevin Apollo's for ACW, championship wrestling, promotion.
Let's get blocked.
I'm telling you right now, it can work. Charity. We
Dave
get the
Meltzer,
big fluffy gloves, and you can just let that rage out.
No,
Rampage, baby, Rampage. Phil Marks start rampaging, going, this is for all pro
No, it
wrestling
wouldn't be
fans.
rage, dude. It would be like me
Boom.
playing around having fun, dude. It would be like me playing with him. Like, you know that guy who fought CM Punk? It'd be like that. I'd look up Michael Venom Page highlights from before the UFC, and I'd be doing that shit. I'd be like dancing. I'd like throw a pokeball at him. Anyways, Dave Meltzer on AEW. So this is the last one we got, guys, for Dave. Dave Meltzer on AEW being a struggling company right now, but being on the verge of success based on the potential upcoming broadcast deal. This is what I mean. They're struggling very much, but they're on the verge of success with this deal. How does that even make sense? What does that mean? So this one deal is going to make you successful? How? I just don't understand. It drives me insane, dude. But yeah, it's just such cope. They're on the verge of being successful. So the TV deal will pay them back for what, 1 year? And then that means, so you agree that being in the green means success. So even I give AEW the benefit of the doubt and go, you don't have to be in the green as a company to be successful. Doesn't mean that, but when everything's trending down, Dave agrees though that this, like, what's the success based on? No one's telling us. The demo, making money, in the green, all this shit. It's silly. But yeah, it's just him liking moves. Someone said in chat, move corn. But anyways, Meltzer says, I hope it's that the deal's done for is Tony Khan's sake. It's so weird because they are on Brian on the verge of what he's saying is accurate, and that's a big if. So if what Tony's saying accurate, it's a big if. So what does a big if mean, chat? Chris? That it's a big probably not going to happen. But anyways, he goes, a completely successful company. At the same time, by traditional metrics, they are very much a struggling company. So then what are we talking about? They're really struggling to sell tickets right now. And obviously the TV ratings are what they are. So even Dave admitting, you guys, so there's no longer a need to, when you encounter these sickos, right? Like I see someone in the chat going, I like both companies. Me too, bro. I watch it all. I'm a mark. Here's the thing, dude. I don't like AEW recently. I don't. It's been shit. Let's be honest, man. This is all shit and wacky and goofy. And Tony's just running it into the ground. And he was the only guy. Like, dude, I'd watch shoot interviews of Cornette with Sean Oliver. And he'd be going, never again in my lifetime will there ever be another promotion that had a chance like TNA. Fucking Tony did it, dude. He was the dude. He was the guy. He was the golden goose out of nowhere. He was the Hail Mary prayer sent from above. Like, holy shit, man. This guy can go head to head with Vince. And then he fucked it all up, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy. We had it, guys. If you're a mark like me, we had it, dude, and we lost it. Right there, dude. We lost it. Maybe it'll come back, though. I root for it to rise from the ashes. But now I hope TNA does that because it's more Canadian-based. I'm a based Canadian. Hello. No, but I fucking want TNA to rise from below and just show everyone what's up because that would be the ultimate, like, yeah, fuck you. We scratched Claude. We're on pop and we beat AEW, bro. You know, that's what would make me pop more than anything. But anyways, though, yeah, Dave is just doing mental gymnastics. Well, it's about to fail, but it's pretty big. But if you ask Grok, it'll tell you that it's not successful, but the ratings say it's not either. But I'm telling you it might be if Tony maybe does this big thing that maybe won't happen because it's unlikely that it'll happen, but it will be big when it does. And you're just sitting there like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
You what?
Dude's coping, man.
Emotional damage.
So that wraps up our Dave Meltzer coverage here. And yeah, let's go into our next set of bookmarks here. I hope everyone's having a grand, good old time. We'll transition right into the AEW news because I know what you guys want. Maybe we'll start at the top with this one, yeah, because we were talking about what it was. So Chris Connor, why don't you take a minute to plug just everything that you have going on as Junior Taffa is about to grace the octagon, or he has graced the octagon. Bruce Buffer's introducing him. This will be a big heavyweight scrap. I'm buzzing right now, if you guys can't tell, and we're watching UFC 304. I don't know what's going down on Collision, but I'll watch that as I go to bed. Chris Connor, plug your show and everything you got going on while I share this screen and hydrate myself a little bit.
Once again, you can check me out. It's thelastcallpodcast.com, and I want to thank my wonderful guest today. You can check him out. Rafion Stotts will be fighting September 7th at the Bellator Challengers Series in San Diego, California. Always a great guest. Talks about family. Talks about Danny Sabatello rematch win where there was a lot of trash talking, a lot of WWE style bantering. Also talked about his possible rematch with Patchy Mix down the line, where he has said that he wants a title shot. You can also check me out on Instagram, Twitter, and on Facebook. It's Last Call Chris C. And I'm also on LinkedIn as well. And you know what? I'm also the YouTube channel as well as the Last Call podcast on YouTube channel, which I have. You can see even backlogged interviews I've done with boxing, MMA, including even some sports interviews with George Karlaftis of the Kansas City Chiefs. And
you talked to a bunch of models and shit too, haven't you?
Yes,
This guy talks to like real hot girls. If you guys like hot women, check out Chris Connor channel and check me out there too, guys. I'm on his show too.
You have been on the show.
Yeah, so,
and you know, as I said, that's why that is my dream. I know you say you can't do it, but I want you to do it. I want to slap fight. As a American who's getting embarrassed by Dave Meltzer, I want this good Canadian fellow to go, you know what? I'm standing up for all you wrestling fans who've been just beaten down by Meltzer's lies. I'm going to stand up for all the wrestlers who've been hurt by Meltzer's jabs. I will slap you, sir, for charity.
I will do it en français for French
for
Canadian.
Charity.
Français. I challenge you to a duel. So speaking of dueling, Alfred Konuwa at This Is Nasty, shout out our guy, Forbes writer, stand-up comedian. He is he's like AEW don't like him, man. They're kind of he makes videos about him. They've called him out. I got a clip here of like MJF right here, actually. So no, they haven't called him out. You guys get what I'm saying, right? They've removed him from the thing. Their subsidiary news guys have been against Alfred. Let's put it that way. He was just on Keeping It 100 with Conan, Hot News. And, he makes these videos. They get upset. Here's Alfred Konuwa tweets out. MJF did an interview with Wrestle Talk, who, like, come on, man. You guys want to talk about Phil the Shill? How about fucking these UK wrestling dudes, man? They love Meltzer. They love AEWs. But anyways, and that's fine. Love what you love. But, man, MJF goes there, and Alfred Konuwa says, I've always said, say whatever you want about me as long as you spell my name right. Clearly, Cousin Max didn't get the message. So I don't know if they're dissing him or they're homies or whatever, but they bring up Alfred on the MJF Wrestle Talk.
Ratings tattooed on my leg.
He helped you out with that.
Kanumamawawawawa. Like, come on, bro.
I got to tell you, I actually like the cut of that guy's jib.
Oh, yeah?
I really do.
Yeah.
He seems like a nice.
Oh, he helped Wrestle Talk, so I'm here shitting on Wrestle Talk. Sorry, bro.
Guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's why people stay away from. I'm so savage, and like I lean into, I just cover whatever it is.
I hate to jump in, but AEW, some of these AEW wrestlers, they come across like high school kids. Like, okay, great, I get it. You don't like some of what Alfred thinks about AEW. Prove them wrong. I mean, your company's become a joke. You keep doing the same stupid stuff, and yet people have like WBD people told you do not curse, and what do? You just keep doing the same thing. Your ratings have plummeted. The thing is stale. It's an indie-rific / XPW wannabe promotion at times. Just grow the F up. I mean, you look at him and I hate this. I hate rooting for this because I don't want people to lose their jobs. Because I've been in that situation where you lose your job, and
I don't want that either. Yeah,
but there is a small part of me that's like, you know what? I do wish AEW would lose their TV deal because some of these people need to like get an attitude check. They need to have their egos just like beaten down. Tony needs to learn a lesson because they haven't, and they feed off the toxicity of pro wrestling fans. They start a lot of his stuff, and then they run around and start calling, "Oh, we're victims, we're victims, we're victims." Like, no, you started this war. You didn't realize that if you start a fight, you might actually have to bleed in a fight, and you can't keep pulling this crap.
You ain't hype for $5 says, "Oh, come on now, Phil. That's not very fair. AEW is doing big business with their mid-card main events and half-sold arenas. That's not very fair, Eric, to come and try and tell me. That's not very fair, Chris Connor, to come and try to gaslight the fans like that. AEW is a victim here, Eric. Okay? First and foremost, Tony Khan is a victim here. And while I have victims' attention, if you're a victim, I have some insurance I can sell you in case you've been in a motorcycle accident." Oh my God. Yeah, you're right. I don't want it to go out of business. Just the thought of that disappoints me. It's why I'm just sighing. I'm like, "Oh, dude, I don't want it to go out of business. I don't. It's so sad. I want Edge to go somewhere and get a bunch of money, brother. I do. I don't want him to break his tibia, and I want people to actually get over. Thanks so much for the super chat too. Did I even give you a didn't? Here, I gave you a nope because that's what was closest to my finger. Okay. So Alfred Konua, though, he goes, if AEW wants to turn All In into its WrestleMania, that's exactly what'll happen if they try to run stadiums right now. Because if they don't turn things around quick, they may have to move All In Texas and even that Australia show to a smaller building, just like WrestleMania 7, which could happen. And exactly, WrestleMania did it. See, the whole thing that AEW has to go through too until they learn. I can't be saying like I can't be plugging shit that like should be giving me money. You guys know what I'm saying? Like if they gave me money, I'd put it in the bit. That would be the commercial, guys. Right? But I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to like get a sponsor for a podcast and all that. Not that I want to be like ad ridden. That's what I hate about a lot of these shows. But like if I had maybe like one or something throughout the show, I know you guys would be good with that. And it would just, make things a lot easier to do and set up my plan. I have like this ultimate goal in the long run here, but it's a long game here. So we're building. This is the early stages. We're not even 2 years old, baby. Anyways, Alfred Konua was right about this. AEW's mad at him. MJF had a little, I actually like that guy's jib. And I think that's because he knows it kind of gets him a little bit of heat. Because I don't know. I think people internally don't like him. But either way, here's their announcement of Texas. And what I was saying before is that I lost my thought, but I got it again. WrestleMania 7, this happened where they had to move buildings. And there's an episode of South Park, which I refer to a lot. South Park's the greatest show ever made. And there's an episode where it's like Simpsons did it. And Butters is trying to come up with all these different ideas. But every idea he comes up with to take over the world, his little sidekick there is like, Simpsons did it. Simpsons did this. Simpsons did everything, dude. Like everyone's copying the Simpsons. If you get accused of copying, Simpsons predicts real life, bro. Simpsons, some people are like, Simpsons predicts the future. There's black helicopters flying around Matt Groening's house and he predicted the future. So you can't help but, Simpsons is like, you make a joke and it's something along the lines of that of like something the Simpsons did. You almost can't accuse someone of being like, you stole that. But with AEW, they have that problem of everything they do, they're trying to do, it's always going to be held against, well, WWE did it, even their failures too, right? So We have to remember that. People are like, oh, look, he's booking this show. It's like, yeah, but even WrestleMania, dude, had this step back. And you gotta point that out too, because the sickos will gloss over this and just consider it an automatic dub. And we're not only trying to say everything's an L, but what match could they do in Texas that will fucking draw however many people? You know what I mean? 20,000 even. They were just in Texas struggling to fill out the esports arena, dude. They're in Texas. They don't sell out shows. Every place they've gone, it's lower and lower. Domestically, we're like domestic. Focus on domestic. Instead, he's like, no, we're going to do a stadium here. To me, this is like the fire sale. We're going out of business. Hey, everyone, buy tickets. We're just going to do a string of crazy shows. Tony just thinks throwing money at problems solves problems, which they do in a lot of ways. Honestly, throwing money solves a shitload of problems. That's how you get in this situation. But it's not going to solve the criticisms. It's not going to solve making the product better in any way. It's not going. He's just really trying to leave his footprint in wrestling. He just, his dream, Tony's dream, is he just wants to be remembered as like a Vince, a Vern Gagne, an Eric Bischoff, one of them, one of us. You know, that's all he wants. Sorry, I'm ranting and raving. I will play this clip. And thank you all for being here tonight on a Saturday night, man. You guys are so groovy. I love you all.
AEW's job as a wrestling company is to give the market what they want. Every market where they're selling tickets is screaming, we don't want this shit. And AEW's plan is to scale up. Don't be surprised if one of these ambitious stadium shows turns into AEW's WrestleMania 7, where AEW Australia will have to scale down to the Silverdome. No, not that Silverdome. Look at the 5,000-seat Silverdome in Launceston, Tasmania, Australia, and like it. Bruh, AEW better have the Wollongong Entertainment Center on standby, my guy. It's fitting AEW is moving all into Texas because, like an old Western, WWE took one look at London and said, this town ain't big enough for the both of us. I'm calling it right now. WrestleMania 42 will be back in AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Just because AEW's job as a wrestling...
Boom. He nailed it. I think I have some more on this. Let me look. Let me see. Here we go. Well, just, I guess, here, hold on. Your thoughts on Alfred Konuwa's comments there. WWE walked into London, said, this town ain't big enough for the both of us, brother. And basically, dude, AEW got the boot, and there's more to that here. Like, Tony reaffirms this. Like, Tony actually exposed, like, yeah, actually, we're not doing All In there anymore. Like, it's cooked. Like, All In might have to be this thing he does everywhere other than America or something. Sorry, Chris Connor, your thoughts on Alfred there, his little bit.
I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, we talked about when we had DJ Nolan on the show. Like, if you look what London's doing, they're putting a full court press. There's already talk that, you know, they'll get Roman versus Rock at WrestleMania 42 because they want it, and they will offer a huge sum of money. It's just like, here it is. This is a big bag. Don't even bother counting. Just like, you know, jingle it and go, all right, yep, that's enough. Meanwhile, Tony has to pay England or to pay Wembley to literally go there and pay everything. That's the difference. And as I said, if they don't get a TV deal, it pays them at least enough to cover all 115 or maybe even 120 million dollars worth of their salaries.
Right.
By the way, once again, still haven't gotten renewed yet, and it's in August. Like, well, when is this going to happen? Oh yeah, well, we're not sure.
And here's the thing, right? I'm not even one of these Thurston dudes. Like, I'm a dumbass, right? And these like WrestleNomics and all this, it's like, guys, it's this simple. He publicly, because we don't know shit, we have to estimate everything, right? And so Tony flat out will tell you shit, though. He says, hey, All In Wembley this year with 45,000 tickets sold, he said it outright. It's like a $5 million gate. And then you just sit there and go, well, apparently he paid Monet $5 million or 10. 5 to 10. It's somewhere in that range for sure. The way they talk, the highest paid women's wrestler, it's 5 to 10 million. So right there, your WrestleMania show, dude, doesn't even cover her salary, let alone the Young Bucks is, let alone fucking Kenny Omega, Moxley, CM Punk's $9 million they had to give him, Edge. I mean, fuck it. We have to name everyone. You guys know. You guys get it. So it's just that simple. You just look at that one thing, and then you look at the empty buildings, and I don't gotta put it together to be right about this shit, guys. I don't gotta fucking do the Steiner math on this and flip-flop around and do all the guesstimations. No, you can just look at it and go, dude, no, this is what it is. It's not doing well. It's not making money. There's no fucking way. I played video games all my life. That's the era I grew up in, was playing goddamn video games. And the video game fucking sucked. It tanked by all accords, dude. So, I mean, and that is a huge factor in this. You guys got to remember, like they started that early on. He sank a shitload of money into that. So these are all things that indicate the public stuff. You know, it's not going so great. Here, right here, Tony Khan. I say all that to show you this clip, and Tony Khan himself is like, well, it's going to be something different when we go back to Wembley. And it's not Wembley, London. Not even Wembley, London. So he ain't doing Wembley no more. That's done. They're gonna take a WrestleMania, and then London will take like a SummerSlam and a Royal Rumble. Watch, that's what's gonna start happening. They'll take a Survivor Series and all that shit. A War Games, right? And then AEW, though, they're gonna go there and do like Full Gear or whichever pay-per-view. I can't even think of them, right? Double or Nothing or something. And it'll just be a smaller thing in London or somewhere adjacent, UK adjacent, right? That's what's going to happen. Tony Khan admits it here. None of the dirt sheets are running with this. None of the ratings people are going, look, or you know, this isn't a good sign. Economic people, none of them. Your boy Phil has to drink a Das Boot. Guys, go on my Twitter at Pro Wrestle Times. I posted a picture, or my Instagram at Pro Wrestle Times. I posted a picture of my Das Boot I got. It's an ice skate because I'm Canadian, right? It's like a hockey skate, but it's a big giant beer boot. And yeah, you know, I have to drink a third of those and rant about Meltzer for an hour and Tony Khan for anybody to cover this shit. So here we go, though. He puts it out there. I'm just kidding. Wrestle Purist is all over it, and Le Batard show. Here's Tony Khan.
Is this the final AEW show at Wembley?
No, definitely not. We love having AEW.
Okay, I'm mistaken. He did say no, definitely not Wembley. And he's wearing the Warner Bros. Discovery hat again. He's re-signed with them. But what he's going to do is announce, oh, it's a partnership and they've invested in the company. Chris Connor, are you ready? Let me play an X-Files. This is what I think is going to happen. He's going to come in. He's going to go Ring of Honor. Oh, now we have a great deal with WBD. Yeah, it's going to be like 100 million or just like something way lower than this billion or whatever everyone's talking. Maybe not even 100 million, maybe 50 million, maybe 75 million. Maybe it's 60 million. Maybe your boy Phil's off. Maybe it's 30 million. Whatever number it is, it's going to be like money that's less than what everyone was talking. But it'll still be a good chunk to where they'll be like, see, NXT only get whatever. We know what the sickos will do. But what'll happen is he's going to go, well, WBD's bought in, because that's been the rumor. Well, the rumors are WBD owns a section. How many guests, chat, have I had on this show and my podcast who come on here and go, well, WBD's bought in. That's the rumor. They bought a chunk of it. Like early on. Okay. So let's say they're bought in but we don't know that yet. Tony's either going to take the company public or he's going to, and then like him and all his rich homies are going to buy up all the shares and then it'll be revealed that they're bought in, or he's going to go, yeah, they gave us less money, but actually they're bought in. They've been bought in. Like I said, we're great partners. It's a great tradition, but we got way less money and AEW Ring of Honor is now called AEW Ring of Honor, and there's no more Rampage or like AEW's 3 hours long. Like they'll be bought in on the pay-per-views. The rumor's been that Warner wants part of their pay-per-views too, like forever. Like they look at that and go, well, we want a piece of that, dude. So maybe they'll go on to streaming only and won't be on pay-per-view anymore. But it's weird because they did a deal with Triller, so maybe the deal's like they give them a cut of the pay. Who fucking knows? But they're going to remain with Warner in whatever way. So I know they haven't announced anything, but when Tony's like big announcements, they're going to be like Mark business shit. The way he's like, oh, and stay tuned for the 10-minute overrun. And we're all like, that's not what an run. That's not how you get us intrigued in an overrun. What the fuck? That's weird business jargon. The reason one of these big announcements is going to be is we're with Warner, we're staying with WBD, but all of our shows are on TBS now, and Collision's no more, but they're bought in on the company. Like, they're investing heavily in us.
Well, he can't control that. So that's let me put a wet blanket on that, because whenever Warner decides to announce that, they'll announce it before Tony will, because they will put that out there like, hey, we are blah blah blah, because they'll want to spin this in their own way first. They're not going to trust Tony Khan. This is because they're right now in free for all. They basically were told.
I got some headlines on that, dude. They're fucking Warner's is scrambling right now, son.
So honestly, I've been talking to people like AE Awful and disciplinary committee and Kevin Apollo and other people I've talked to privately, and the feeling is that right now Warner WBD has an offer. It's kind of a low offer, maybe even not even an increase. And they've told WBD, all right.
But they're just all speculating like we are, like I am as well. Like,
yes,
Awful has no insight. He doesn't fucking know. He doesn't know what's
going to happen. But it's basically go out and see what you can get and come back to us. And
maybe,
now,
it could be that. Yeah, it could be that.
Because otherwise, what is the point? If they had bought the company, you would have heard it. You would have heard earlier, like, oh, yes, Warner Brothers Discovery has ownership in it, and they would have easily by now have brought other people in. They would have forced Tony to go, look, we want our own people. And Tony has said, I am not giving up booking Prow. I'm not giving up any of that. Here's what I've always said. They're waiting to see how bad it drops. Right now, the lowest has been 519,000 people for one AEW show the last couple of months. And we saw they quickly rebound. Oh, it wasn't our fault. The Big Bang wasn't in there, lead in, blah, blah, blah. And now it's got down to the 600s. And now it's gone down to, bumped up to 700. But it's like, okay, what happens come fall when TV shows come back, when new shows happen, when more sports come on, and all of a sudden those ratings slip? Like, because the magic number has always been you need to get at least 500,000 people to watch Dynamite.
Yeah, that's what I've always heard. Like, that's all they want is 500,000 live people every Wednesday. That's all they cared about. So what if they switch that to a third hour and then they just get rid of one of the Friday, Saturday shows? And then Tony goes, Dynamite's now 3 hours and the third hour will be called Rampage. Like, I'm trying to think through Tony's lens here. That's what I believe it'll be. It'll be like Rampage is I don't care about Dynamite, and it's live now. It's not on Fridays. It's live now. And, whatever, and then people will still shit on the rating, but the rating is like 500K. That's all they want for the chunk of time. I could totally see it being like that, and then because the sheets could spin it, like that's a good thing too.
But if you're Warner Brothers and you already are losing people by around a second hour to around 500,
I know.
So I'm saying here, I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe they think. Sorry to cut you off, but maybe they think that those 500 though will stay through that next hour of the, or maybe what comes on after Dynamite, Modern Family or something. Does it do better than like 800K? Like, what are the ratings for that show typically? I'd love to know. I'm sure fucking You Were Awful or someone would know. But yeah, I would be curious. Anyways, we got to listen to this clip from Tony, the London stuff, because I see in the chat there somebody says that Eric Bischoff said WBD could be sold off in pieces. It could be, and it may be, and I'm fucking hearing shit like that too. Just completely unwrestling related too, on like the entertainment side, the movie biz side of things as well is what I'm hearing. So let's listen to this. And I got some WBD news because they're in the red. They're losing money. There's all these, it's just not good. They're a sinking ship. They're the fucking Titanic right now. But here's Tony admitting like, no, we're going back to Wembley, but it's not going to be all in. It'll be something different in 2025. So, and then they're going to do all in Texas. We know. So, what are they gonna do in Wembley instead, or in London? Now people would go, oh, they're probably pissed, but no, they're not, because they're getting Mania and Tony pays to do the shit. They pay for WWE. So here's Tony Khan
Wembley Stadium, and we're back in 2026 in England. This year, we're going to be doing a huge event. It's coming up actually days from now. It's next weekend, August 25th on Sunday. Kind of an early start for AEW on pay-per-view since we're running over in London. We're going to start at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. And again, that's next Sunday on pay-per-view. It's going to be a huge, huge event. We're calling it the Final Countdown, as it's title versus career, with Bryan Danielson, one of the greatest wrestlers ever, putting his career
Oh, you know he licensed the song again.
on the line versus the World Championship held by Swerve Strickland, and so much more. Next year, the show will be at Arlington's Globe Life Field, home of the world champion Texas Rangers. Should be a great show. Absolutely. We love doing a show in England, and we will be back in England in 2026. And you can bet you'll see us there in 2025 as well. It won't be AEW All In. It'll be something different, but we've got some big plans coming up next year as well. It's a great time for AEW. Like you said, I do wear this hat proudly, and a lot of exciting things coming for AEW.
Yeah. So I'm not going to sit here and say, like, he's not wearing that hat unless he knows he's sticking with them. That's all I'm saying. He's not. He doesn't keep doing that. I know he's an idiot, but got to give him some benefit of the doubt there. And yeah, so he I don't know. In 2026, he's like, we'll be back there with All In. So I don't know. Is that true, or is he going to go? We don't know. He just talks.
We don't know, because here's the thing. He keeps thinking, but eventually he'll get the deal. He'll get the deal because he's always gotten his way. But they haven't signed a deal yet, and we keep going. Well, they haven't agreed to a deal. For all we know, he's trying to just eventually just hope that they meet the price, and that they just. Maybe he thinks, well, they've lost on the NBA, so they'll come back to the table. They'll give me what I want. But as I said, if these ratings keep sinking, at what point does WBD just walk away and go, screw this? You're a bad investment. You're not growing. We've given you 3 years to sort of turn this around. You haven't done it, and we don't have the money to keep throwing at you guys, especially when you're not sports. Pro wrestling is not sports. It is rehearsed. It's fake. It's scripted, whatever you want to call it. And most sports sites don't want to be associated with anything that's non-WWE.
Yeah. So yeah, confirmed next year's AEW All Event All in Texas will take place at Globe Life Field on July 12th. Good luck with that. And hey, I hope they fucking pull it off. I have a press conference to play for you guys here, but I know that my guy Chris Connor's got to get the hell out of here though. So chat, round of applause for Chris coming to hang out with us tonight. I'm going to chill with you guys for a bit longer. And yeah.
Thank you for everything. And as I said, with everything that's been going on with me, I appreciate your friendship, and you have to be on your show.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, dude. You take it easy and just shoot me a DM, dude, and we'll chat it up. And I just appreciate you being here, man. Everyone check out Last Call with Chris Connor. And yeah, invite me on your show again, dude. When am I coming back on?
We will definitely bring you back on this week. I promise that.
Let's do it. All right, man. You take it easy, bruv. I'll see you. Peace. Okay. So that was awesome. We didn't get in this screaming match this week, guys. I know you guys love when that happens, but no. Oh, my God. I love it. So here is the press conference itself. Tony Khan confirmed today's press conference that All in 2026 will be returning to London.
All the great history.
So it's weird booking. Like, oh, yeah, we're going to take it away this year. That WrestleMania rolls into town, and then we'll come back. That's weird.
Great things that have happened here in Texas. It's a big honor for us to come and be a big part of that Texas wrestling tradition, because you see, for years, people have been asking, when is AEW going to do a pay-per-view event in Texas? When is it going to happen? There are lots of great arenas in this state. There are a lot of great places in the great state of Texas where you can do a wrestling show. There are certainly a lot of great wrestling fans in the state of Texas. They're one of my favorite natural resources. And you can bet they're going to be loud and proud here in Globe Life Stadium when we present AEW All In Texas next year. It's going to be a very special thing. Last year, we debuted AEW All In at Wembley Stadium in London. We set the world record for pro wrestling attendance. We sold 81,035 tickets. We built a very special.
You guys, WWE is going to do like 100,000 people at their Wembley show. Make no mistake about it. He's clutching to dear. He knows that when they're attending, he can't go, we set the world record. He's going to start going, at one point, we had the world record for highest attended, da-da-da-da-da. And he won't be able to rely on that anymore on this sort of copy. This is all he cares about. And it's funny because they also paraded Athena out here. And I love Athena. I'm not hating on her. Get your money, get your shine. I hope you're featured. I applaud them. Finally, Tony. But she's from Texas, and of course they'll have her like defend the Ring of Honor women's title in Texas at this All In or something. Like it'll just be, he'll start featuring her on AEW TV now or something. And it's just silly how, look at how good Mark Briscoe is. People want to see him. Every crowd erupts for him. Imagine how over him and Jay would have been. It took for a death to get him on TV. And I'm not conflating these things, but it's like Athena's been so good. She got over on Dark, got over on Elevation. They stick her in Ring of Honor. She starts getting over in Ring of Honor. I feel like she was over in WWE too. That gimmick, her finish, all of that shit was over as like a larger than life character. You know, now he's parading her out here. Like, and I'm glad he's doing it, but he's bringing her out here now to do the Texas show because we're going to Texas, hometown hero. I just hate when that shit, and it'll be a great moment for her career and everything. So I don't want to like shit on it for that purpose, like to take away from, because I'm sure she feels awesome about it. So, and I support that, but God damn it, Tony should have been featuring her for years. Now we're just going to get like a hot shotted. Hopefully he builds it up. He's got a year. Maybe he just starts putting her in good storylines. They build her up on TV, you know, maybe something crazy, but it's just, it just feels too little too late. Everything he does.
Special brand. Of course, we will be going back just 10 days from now to Wembley Stadium and celebrating All In 24. And we can't wait to bring All In 25 here. It's going to be very special. You know, we're going to London next week, then coming to Texas. We'll be going back to London in 2026. But coming here for this event, it's very special. And it does mark our first pay-per-view event ever in Texas. It also marks AEW's first stadium show ever in America.
Amazing. So the UFC pay-per-view is underway. And yeah, these guys are squaring off. It's going to be good stuff, guys. So sorry, I'm chewing. I don't want to chew in the mic. All right, rocking and rolling. We were talking before about WBD. S&P puts Warner Bros. Discovery on negative credit watch. Now, that's a bad thing. And then also we find out about the $9 billion. And then we find out, you know, Zaslav's in hot water. And then we find out what else happens. Oh, yeah. So Warner Bros., this is per the Wall Street Journal, right? Warner Bros. Discovery is putting its cable network's operation under the direction of a top studio executive, a move that comes as its cable TV business is facing significant challenges. So its cable TV shit is overall in the shits. That's why I believe AEW gets away with this shit a bit, because I believe that they are doing good numbers, like comparatively, for just what WBD needs right now. Honestly, I do think that. I think if you can have like 700,000 live viewers, they look at that as a W. If you can pull that off weekly, right? That's my opinion. Maybe that's wrong. Because like TV's sort of dying. The cable cutting thing, that is a big thing, but it applies across the board. So when they get beaten so badly, You know, like you can say the reason WWE's ratings aren't as high as the Attitude Era and can never reach that again is because of cord cutting, and that applies across the board. That's every show, right? That's every TV network station, whatever. Standard. Now, though, you know, if you want to compare them brand to brand, though, you go, yes, obviously one's superior. But like across the board, of course, cord cutting, you can't use that as an excuse for one company, but you can use it for every show in general, right? So just because we've heard these excuses before, but now they have a WBD, they have a studio executive, okay? A top one. Here's the lady right here. I didn't read about it. But essentially, she's going to come in and she might clean things up. She might see shit on the network. I don't know. AEW freakazoids need to be worried. I don't know about all that. Pro Wrestling Counselor. But what I will say, in my opinion, maybe not worried, but I would get that lady on the phone and figure out, or I'd look at her. I'd try and figure out what she likes. I don't know what you do there, because she might come in and go, this is all nonsense. Like, we can't have this dude bleeding over here, whatever. I don't know how people feel about blood and stuff. You know, WWE, I like when there's blood in WWE. It happens more frequently now, but it's still something that doesn't happen all the time. And I think it should be that way. Now, does she understand this? Does she make the final call? Get this AEW crap off the air. Or is she like open-minded? We don't know. I don't know. We'll see. So I don't know if they need to be worried, but this is a different look. Like, if she's in there to try and figure out, okay, what's best for our cable TV business, AEW, she might go, yeah, no, we're not. This isn't good. This isn't good for us. You know what I mean? That could totally happen too. So it's something, a developing story, if you will. I don't know. We're going to keep our eyes on that, though. All right, chat. So Triple H liked to post on Instagram about Tony Khan's comments surrounding his belief of WWE contract tampering. So recently, Tony Khan believes that they came out on the Le Batard show that we played a clip of. He also said that WWE haven't stopped engaging in contract tampering, even though there's evidence that Tony's done it too. And that's the thing. I don't give a shit if either company's doing it personally. But if you're going to cry victim, you can't be doing it too. Tony's done it a bunch. There's a bunch of rumors about that. So anyways, though, Tony goes, I don't think that it has. So they asked him, like, do you think WWE stopped engaging in that? Tony goes, I don't think that it has. It's still happening. I will reserve all rights when it comes to that, but I don't think that it stopped. I'll leave it at that. So again, man, I would just say, dude, no comment. Or I'd go, it's the wrestling business, dude. What do you think? I called them Harvey Weinstein, bro. Would you blame them for doing shit? You know, oh yeah, you know, whatever. It's the wrestling business, dude. That's all he's got to do. That's all he's got to say. And people would be like, yeah, fuck yeah. But instead, nah, crying wolf again. And so Triple H likes a post that Tony says all this shit. And then Triple H liked this. We got to give Triple H an air horn. My word. People melting down for sure. So then it gets reported by Dave Meltzer. There is concern backstage within AEW regarding attendance and popularity of the company. So there's a concern backstage about attendance and popularity of the company. You think? No shit. There's concern with the fan base and everybody, dude. Come on. And then Meltzer goes on to say AEW has the right to extend Rey Fenix's contract by a year due to time missed due to injury. It's a lot of doo-doos there, dude. So they're gonna do, like, remember when everybody's saying when WWE, Vince is at the helm, AEW's rising at the beginning, and everyone's like, free Ali and free Cedric or whoever. I'm just throwing names out. Free fucking Moxley, free Danielson, free Zelina. I remember all that shit. Now look at this dude. Tony's going to use his injury time against him. And some of those reports may be true, I guess, about Phoenix, whatever. Dave's always wrong. This is Wrestling Observer, but they have the right to. Like, Dave's out here not saying that's what they're going to do, but he's out there defending AEW. They have the right, by golly. to extend his contract by a year. So they're just trying to kill everyone's dreams. Like, that's what these guys are. They're literally, this is the most shill propaganda, dude, ever. This is propaganda, bro. These guys are out here like a media company, dude, that purports to be news. And they're sitting here, the newsletter, bro, and they're sitting here going, they have the right. Now, I know it's just, I know that, maybe I would have to see the whole article, right? Maybe this is just one, well, it is. It's just one sentence taken out of Dave's blah, 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 5 million word rambling. But just, if this is a quote that cultaholics, so they're rage, let's put this more in cultaholic too, right? But they're just rage baiting with this as well, because it's just crazy that this is what they want. Like, cultaholic wants to be like, they have the right. Maybe they could add more context. Everything's clipped, right? Even this show's a series of clips. But I don't know. I baited into the rage, dude, because I'm outraged. I'm like, dude, no, fuck you guys. You were saying free all these people. Free Phoenix, man, if he wants to go. Because I'd say it the other way, too. I've told you guys, if Cedric Alexander's like, I want to leave WWE and go do Hurt Business, and it was public, the same way they let Cody Rhodes go, and then look what happened. I'm all for that happening a million times over. So yes, let people go if they want to go. Phoenix wants to go, and then it's like, it's just like dashing the dream. Like, they went and trademarked these new names, and Pentagon's like, no, we're with AEW. And the rumors are he's trying to protect his brother by getting goodwill and saying he loves AEW. I don't know. Now it's just out there in the ethos. And now the sickos are going to run with it. He has the right. He had injured time. We'll free him though, dude. He wants to go. So I don't know, man. They don't even use him anyway. So why would you extend it? Here's a letter from AEW. Who gives a shit? It's about the All in Texas. We talked about that. According to multiple reports from multiple sources, Penta has already signed with WWE, but Tony Khan has been trying everything to convince Ray Phoenix, didn't even spell it right, to stay in AEW. Those reports are stating Ray Phoenix is on the fence, but is leaning towards the WWE. So Tony, the guy who claims he wants to be, yeah, I don't know if this, whatever this guy's saying, but the sheets are running with shit. We just covered it, right? We covered actual sheets. We covered it episodes ago as well. The last 2-3, we've been covering this fucking Lucha Bros journey. So yeah, there's all these random stories coming out now that it's evident they want to leave, and they, and this happens every single time. Julia's unsafe, and the shit comes out about Jade, and it happens every time where, I don't know. It's so gross. But this guy, I don't know. Maybe he saw a bunch of reports, shout him out, and we covered it. So, but he's saying, he calls out Tony Khan for this. No, we're not asking Grok. But you got to spell Ray Phoenix right, dude. It's R-E-Y, like king. And then we have, to be a true American hero, you have to thank your forefathers. I'm dedicating today my good friend, John Bradshaw Layfield, the wrestling god. Thanks for all your sage advice and your stamp of approval. And JBL tweeted out like, oh, MJF's an American hero. I think he's great and all this stuff. And I like that. We need more of that. But it just shows you more. Yeah, hashtag free Phoenix. Exactly.
Acknowledge me.
Conan.
You should ask for some help, dude. He'll help him get him out. Get him out of that shit. No. But thank you, Shadow Badash. And yes, hashtag free Phoenix. It's ridiculous, right? We got to keep that same energy. That's the same that gets thrown around a lot, whether you like it or not. You got to agree with it there. So yeah, JBL shouting out MJF, and I like that. We need more of that, but it's MJF, dude. He can't get out of there quicker. You know what I mean? He can't get out of AEW quicker. And yeah, let me close up this bookmark here. That's our AEW news, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause for AEW news. LC Killer 17 says AEW and their fans and shill media are now the bad guys. Well, it appears that way. It's going more and more that direction, which I don't know is a good thing, but like, I'm not saying like we need to go after people. You know what I mean? I don't care about any of that. I just don't appreciate when people aren't keeping the same energy, bruh. You know, just to put it in layman's terms, like, how else am I supposed to say it? I talk about it ad nauseum. They shill, and then they don't like when other people shill against their shit, or they fucking point the finger, and then the finger gets pointed at them. They don't like it. It's always just like a victim's mentality. I don't think you can be successful doing things like that all the time. You know, at some point you gotta, you know, pick it up by the bootstraps and all that. But it's, yeah, they're slowly but surely becoming the bad guys, the people that are frowned upon, which we need more of that. We need more people calling them out. And if they want to private their accounts, or Meltzer wants to raise his prices, good, you know. I don't want them to ever stop, because I'll never stop. Okay. Thank you so much for the super chat as well. Before we get out of here, I have some IWC sicko stuff for you guys, okay? Because so many of you are watching, and I appreciate it so much. I'm going to share this, and here, let me do. Thank you so much for the super chats as well. Thank you for the $5, and thank you for the $2. You ain't hype. MJF will go to WWE in 2025. Netflix, no censors. Yeah, but that's cringe, bro. Like, if he keeps doing that same shit over there, but I think they should let him do a bit of that in WWE. Round of applause for you guys. But that can't be his gimmick forever. But at the same time, I don't think it'll be 2025. I think he's locked in for longer than that. He'll be like well in his 30s, I think, by the time he goes to WWE. Because the whole thing is, like, if AEW goes out of business, he can just go there. He can just pull the Booker T and not sit on the money. Thank you guys for the super chats, man. Here, I got some IWC sicko shit to go over before I get out of here tonight on this fine Saturday night. I love you all so much. This Fantastical Tales dude, he followed. You guys remember we read his disgusting story about Tony Khan. He had another story that he was wanting me to read, and I don't know where it is, so we'll do it on the next show. I had it. He may have blocked me. This may be, yeah, oh my God. Dude maybe blocked me because we were laughing at him on the last show. No, okay, I followed him, and then he followed me back. And then I was like, dude, we read your story on our show. It was amazing. Thank you. And then he's like, oh, the wonderful TK. Like the way he's talking to me. And then now I have one blocked bookmark and the story's missing. So that's it right there. He blocked me. I'm sorry, guys.
Fucking Mark!
Go to that dude's account and screenshot his stories and send them to me so we can read them. Unless I'm missing it. I do miss things. Here we go. I'm trying to. No, I don't see it. Oh my God. Yeah, he must have blocked me when he realized that we were laughing at him. Oh well, I guess. Come on, man. We were just having a good laugh, dude. But anyways, here's something about SRS. Apologies, but the receipt tour is going to get obnoxious. Mute accordingly. I like how he tweets like a sassy chick. It is healthy to question media. It isn't normal to be psycho about it. That's rich. Come on, dude. That's rich. Okay. These smelly ass dude. Okay, so Julian Weeks has been going off on some of these guys. So AAR Gold goes, drones like Julian don't bug me at all, but I do take issue with big wrestling accounts who don't tweet at all about AEW. And when they do, it tends to be surrounding negativity. Why, dude? People can do what they want. All you do is tweet about WWE negatively and AEW positively. Let's take the AEW Texan news, for example. WrestleOps one tweet. So now they're not even stop watching shit. They're counting people's tweets. Bro. Holy shit, you need to go outside and meet some girls or something, dude. Or dudes, whatever you're into, man. We're cool over here. WrestleOps, one tweet. Wrestle Features, 0. WrestleLamio, 0. Cultaholic, half. The fuck? And I'm sure there are others who haven't said anything because they do PR for WWE. Bro, you're literally doing PR for AEW, so it's weird. They think they're in some weird battle. It's gross. Wrestling Mark goes, why are we all hating on Joe Hendry now? Just need to know so I can jump on the bandwagon. So here's these sickos. Again, they just hate on people. You what?
You what?
They're just hating on who they're told to hate on. Now, is that on the WWE side? Maybe, but we got Rhea and Liv marks going at each other. So like, nah, they're just hating on each other, bro. They ain't. That's why WWE's hot. The competition's within its competition, you know. So AEW, Awful Wrestling. I want him to come on and talk about this. I did. He got into a tiffy with Andrew Baydala. I'll save that. But he's going at this dude about his subscription thing. And did he call Awful a grifter? That's where I'm missing. I have to go through this thread better. And Awful's like, I'm selling a book when the time comes. And I might even sell shirts and shit, which he's going to do. So, yeah, we can't be going at people for monetizing shit. Now, we can laugh that, like, okay, clearly WWE Real One shit is fake just for the monetization's sake at this point. Like, that's funny. We all talk about it. We know it. Awful. Clearly, there's a debate to be had. Like, he's not just doing it for that sake. Like, I know him. That's not what he's doing. Andrew Baydet, but we can't start going because, like, dude, people collect, like, doesn't Toonie Talk get super chats too, you know? And if you do sell a book, it's almost this, don't go at a guy for having a subscription button, bro. I don't have a subscription button, but like, if you did, I'm not hating, dude. You know what I mean? Like, people are out here getting it the way they got it, or whatever. Alfred Konua says it, get it how you got it. You know, we can't hate on that. But so I wanted him to come and like talk about this little feud because Baydala infamously has like the worst takes of all time. And then Awful was going at him. So I'll wait till he comes on and we'll do that as a podcast. So I'm not going to dive deep into that. More AIR gold though. People saying AEW can't sell out a stadium in America are going to be eating their words. Globe Life Field. Well, we talked about that, dude. I don't think they're selling out a stadium, bruv. Okay. I don't think that's happening anytime soon. So like they might do like 20K, but what match? The rematch between Ospreay, MJF, Adam Cole versus MJF. What do they think? I'm trying to go through their lens, right? Like, what is Tony thinking? Moving along. This guy tweets out at Mark All Elite. Like, come on. Your account's at Mark All Elite. Now, I guess that's rich me too. AEW Neckbeard. I get it. But at least he's like a very ingenious troll, you know? This is just like standing. Anyways, when you have modern day versions of MJF equals The Rock. What? Here, yeah, where's my what? Come on, where's Stone Cold? When you have MJF equals The Rock. Mox equals Austin. What? Jericho's Hogan. Yeah, he's got that right. Cassidy's Triple H. What? Omega's Brett and Flair. What? Darby is the Undertaker. What? Phoenix is Mysterio. What? He could be. Young Bucks are the Hardy Boys. What? Maybe. When you have this kind of star power in 2020, are AEW always going to outdraw WWE? Hope dumb WWE fans get it. Yeah, so Neckbeard's hanging on to that one like a bad grudge, dude. This one, yeah, dude, the story guy blocked us. God damn it. God damn it. He had his new story was so good. Julian goes off on this guy. These smelly ass dudes that get their feelings hurt when big accounts don't say nice things about their favorite company are embarrassing AF. Like, go wash your ass and stop caring so much about this shit. N-word. So Neckbeards again, he making the show 100 times. He goes, I thought competition was a good thing for us. AEW Nation via dirtsheets.net. So fucking the sheets, bro. These guys go, I knew Triple H wanted to destroy us. He's having a house show compete with an AEW pay-per-view. Why can't WWE take the night off when AEW has a show? It's only fair. It's only fair. Dude, I need a baby sound on the fucking soundboard. Here's the thing. It comes out, right, that this December 28th Orlando show, WWE runs the holiday tour every time at the same time, every year in Orlando. They even went against themselves. WWE went against their own Monday Night Raw one time on this holiday tour because they always do it. And all I got to say, man, is that if a fucking house show of any wrestling company affects your pay-per-view, you done fucked up. If you don't look at it as a positive way, like if TNA ran a pay-per-view the same week as a WWE house show, they'd figure out a way to like spin that to like, hey guys, come to our dope show. They're crying. They push people away. They should be like, hey, everybody, and not in a sick way. It should be like people encouraging, yo, I hope all these people also check out the pay-per-view, you know, see what we have to offer and shit. People who are in town, hey, or like if you're in town or you're enjoying the holiday tour, look, if you have tickets, I work like a little in like the movie biz where it's like, you know, there'll be theaters that do promotions with bars where it's like, and I know AEW's done this, they already got clowned for it, burger deals, whatever. Like, you know, buy a ticket, get a burger, whatever, but do that, man. Like hey, if you like, hey, we want to work with companies. You're not WWE competition, dude. Go, hey, if you guys show up to our AEW show with a WWE whatever, we'll let you in for $5 or some shit. I don't know. Figure out a way. Try and get people to goodwill again with people. You know, it's just all, somebody said it earlier, they're becoming the bad guys, right? So here again, Neckbeard says, I'll take things that never happened for $800, Alex. Somebody says, this is an AEW fan, goes, it's crazy how so many people think AEW is only for pro wrestling otakus. First off, who the fuck says otakus? One of the greatest jokes I ever made was to Wrestling Otaku. You guys know that guy, Wrestling Otaku, that chubby dude? I forget his fucking name. Whatever. You guys know him. He's a cringe lord. He's a lol cow. Speaking of lol cows. What's the situation for $1? Just throws in $1. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Great. I appreciate you so much, and consider becoming a member for 99 cents too, if you're not. And if you didn't put a super chat in there, if you forgot a message, just write something in the chat and I'll get to it. But the greatest joke I ever made was on X, where Pro Wrestling Otaku or whatever, he's like, what's with the Hawk Tua girl? I don't get it, and all that stuff. And I quote tweeted, and I went, Wrestling Otaku, you should change your name to Wrestling Octua. But I spelt it all one word, OKTUA. Come on now, give your boy Phil something. I thought it'd get a bunch of likes. Nope. No one gave a shit, dude. It's the greatest show ever. I was like, you should change your name to Wrestling Octua and capitalize on all the momentum or whatever I said, dude. That's funny. Come on. Anyways, though, this guy goes, my wife of 19 years never could get into WWE. Didn't get it at all. That's a lie. She didn't get WWE at all? You mean the children low IQ shit? You fucking idiots. Thought that some matches were cool, but couldn't get past the poorly acted backstage segments or overly written promos long enough to keep an interest. Here we are with her giddy over the fact that AEW has a 3-hour block tonight, because the 1-hour show last night and the 2-hour Wednesday just wasn't enough. She loves the product as much as me. AEW threads. Well, that's good if they do, but I mean, that sounds fake. It sounds like not a real story. That's like these political people do that. My kid came up and was like, Dad, Biden's going to ruin the country. And it's like, you're 6, Timmy. I'm so proud of it's like, that never happened. Anyways, Jimmy Bebe says, WWE runs holiday tour every year, and I've gone to it on a Monday night in that very arena in Orlando. They literally ran against their own Monday Night Raw when I went. This is a nothing story. Boom. Thank you, Jimmy Bebe. AEW was what now? You what? You what? A couple more, guys. Meltzer goes, the trolls are. Don't confuse most WWE fans with the trolls. So maybe he's standing up for WWE people a little bit, but this Elroy guy goes, only thing that shows is that most WWE fans are low IQ folks. Then he goes, I don't know. They did do a survey and AEW has the most educated fan base. And see, that's Dave. He's regurgitating your news, Dave, back to you. And then you're going, don't confuse most WWE fans with the trolls. Dave, you're fucking, look at this. These people believe it. They did do a survey. AEW has the most educated fan base. That's the dumbest shit ever. Literally. This guy goes, this is just a hilarious story. He goes, I remember I put like $15 in Warner Discovery stock before All In last year as a joke because an AEW obsessed friend swore up and down business was about to boom, LOL. Nowadays, I watch that stock tumble more than he watches AEW. Shit. Here's Julian Weeks posts Willow and Nick Jackson at the Fairfax Comic-Con. Oh my
Best guys, Tony Khan.
Conan.
Oh my God. I died when I saw this. Nick Jackson and Willow at the Fairfax. Look at this dude. That's not Nick Jackson, chat. That's not him. That's a fan, dude. Oh my God. I fucking died laughing. I could not believe that shit. That is incredible. That's one of the most incredible roasts I've ever seen. For $10, Shadow Badass says, funny how the AEW tribalists cry foul when WWE does a house show the same night as a pay-per-view, but don't bat an eye when the AEW counter programs or airs their shows the same night as TNA pay-per-views and shows. Yeah, and they go against WWE pay-per-views all the time with like Collision and shit. And they fucking they like ran Ring of Honor at like during WrestleMania weekend to feed off that. Like, it's just always crying wolf. It's always just crying wolf. How bad is this roast picture though? Like, it's one of the greatest things of all time, man. And thank you so much for the super chat, Shadow Badass. But you're right, it's always just crying wolf. Whatever, you know, like what else can we say about it? We just gotta laugh. We just gotta have a good laugh and welcome them here. Bring them in. We'll convert them to PWT listeners. That's what we'll do. Thank you so much. Round of applause. And if you guys haven't, what Shadow Batash said, you know, check out my interview with Ant Evans, where, you know, like we've covered it ad nauseum. TNA, they took shit from AEW. The wrestlers are saying it now. Joe Hendry, everybody. This is a real partnership. The Rascals are saying it. Trey Miguel, everybody involved in the partnership. It's a real partnership with TNA. So thank you for that so much. And yeah, that's they benefit from it. And Tony shot all over TNA. I think he wanted to try and buy it, and that didn't work out. And now he cries wolf. He still does go against TNA all the time. So fuck him. I'm gonna save that Paul London one. I'm gonna save the Liv stuff and the Rhea stuff. And yeah, guys, that was our incredibly long, almost 3-hour show tonight. Thank you all so much for being here. And I'm saving those because I'm doing a more WWE focused pod coming up here right away. And we've gone a long ass time tonight. I have like 5 scripts sitting across my desk I got to look at too. So I got to keep it a tight one. But thank you all so much for being here. You guys are the absolute goats. Yeah, catch me at Pro Wrestle Times everywhere on social media. I appreciate you, chat, so much. Keep a lookout for a giveaway our guy George is doing soon for like Survivor Series or something. I'll keep you guys in the know. I appreciate you all so much. And yeah, I have a cool podcast. I think I'm gonna rock solo, or Awful's gonna come on and break down his little thing with Baydala there, because I love it. It's fascinating to me. And yeah, we got a lot of heat for that fucking pod, man, that I did with Duke. So I just appreciate you all hanging out with your boys. Thank you for over 100 likes. You guys are the best. Come check us out in the Discord and all of that. I got nothing to plug, you guys. Just subscribe if you're not. Keep tuning in. Tell everybody about it. That's all we can do. And yeah, I hope it was a jam-packed, fun show. Yeah, you know, I did. Oh my God. Before I go, Sean D for $50. My God, I'm doing the outro. Hey, PWT, found you through Wrestling Soup. Shout them out too, man. I want to go back on there. I want Mish to come over here again some more. Sending fit and Joey. Sending 50 for my 50th birthday. Keep up the great work. Oh my God, dude. I don't know what to say. Thank you. You know, it's your guys' like unwavering and undying support that allows me to continue to do the show, you know, more and more. So the more you know, I don't want to like be selling you guys shit really either. You know, I'm like, it's 99 cents to join. If you can, you know, throw in a super chat, you'll for surely get on the show. And I try to give you guys the most time I can per super chat. I try and get passionate about you guys contributing, because it contributes more than you guys know. Not only does it raise interesting topics to talk about or shed light on certain things or whatever, but it also allows me to do this more and more and bring cooler things. I'm in the process too of like working on a couple things. Oh yeah, I was gonna announce too on my Patreon, I'm gonna start doing a when that AEW show comes out, the reality show, we're gonna watch it together every Monday. It's gonna be like a routine thing. So consider, because it's dead, and I'm like, I don't know what to do on the fucking Patreon. I need to do something special for just that. So we won't get DMCA'd. We'll go do it on Patreon. And super chats like this, man, I don't know what to tell you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yes, you're the best. Everybody, round of applause one more time for Sean D. And I shout out Wrestling Soup as well. I'm gonna link up with those guys again. And shout out Chris Connor for being here. Shout you all out for being here. And yeah, look out for PWT Podcast, man. It's coming hot and it's blowing up big. PWT Podcast, it's a draw, brother. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Shadow Bat Ash for $5. Jeepers, have you been following the G1 Climax 34? And who do you think is winning the finals? Oh my God, she's keeping me around. So the G1 has who's in the finals again? I gotta look it up here. I know it's Zack Sabre Jr. and you're a big Zack Sabre mark, Ash. That's why. I already know that. And it is who else is in the final? Let me know in the chat here. Ash will let me know. And I haven't been keeping up with any of it, really, to be honest. But I know it's the first time that I think who's not going to be in the final, like someone who never won the first time or whatever, or like it's going to be a new winner and finalist. I don't know. I'll pick SZJ because everyone's saying it's his time, and he's who I was into when I was in New Japan. Who gave that away? You for sure. You fucking. It's Zack Sabre versus Tsuji. That's right. And he's awesome, man. That guy's a great look. I'm not overly familiar with him, but I'll pick Sabre Jr. I think he's so loyal to New Japan. Even when he goes to AEW, he's just like, oh, it's New Japan, bruv. I just want to bring the New Japan into the da-da-da-da-da. So, yeah. But yeah, guys, I everyone wants me to do more shit with Marie Shadows. I think I want to do like a show where it's me and her talking, if she's into it. I don't know. And I'm just throwing it out here into the universe before I even hit her up about it more, than I have. But it would be cool to do something with her where it's like New Japan focused, more indie focused and stuff, because I like that shit. But thank you so much for your contribution to the show too. And of course, our brilliant $50 super chatter here. I appreciate you all so much. Round of applause for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, I present to you all the outro that I know you've all grown fond of and you love so much.
I look and see it's not just me.
Jeff, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Well, yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling's always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
Yes, I look and see it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Wild. Yeah.
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Damn it,